The team that just keeps on giving. Welcome aboard, Big Sills, in what I like to call my zone. This is my time, okay? This is where we dive in. Like a year ago, when all you, as I would say, stunants, kept listening to the topics and kept saying, nah, don't worry, Big Cells. We're going to be okay. We're going to ride right into a repeat. I kept telling you, hang in there, kids. Little kiddies, pull up a chair next to Big Sills here. And we're going to tell you how things are going to go. And now, this offseason might be one of the biggest off seasons in the Nick Sirianni era. And I'm going to get into it here in a minute. This team just keeps on giving. I mean, there's more topics. By the way, we're going to do our year-end look at the football team. We'll do that probably in hour number 2. But all you have to do is tune on the radio stations in Philly or read the newspapers. My friends, the team that keeps on giving, the Philadelphia Eagles, I'll say it's one of the best teams I've ever covered. And I keep saying that, and I mean that with all due respect to some of the teams that I covered, like the Bucks. Okay? I mean, the Bucks are somewhat interesting, but not really. Okay? They're kind of interesting, but not really. Especially with the decisions that they're going to have to make, like with Mike Evans and what have you. Okay? All right. Hit the like button. Jason Cole will be with us at 3:30. Big Z will be with us at 4:30. All right. Hey, I got to tell you guys, how many guys believe that this is going to be a complete rebuild on offense for the Eagles? This is a complete rebuild. Coaching staff and personnel-wise. You're going to take a step back this year. I'm sorry. I don't see how you don't see it any other way. This is a step back here. You have changed your entire coaching staff, and you have changed the entire offensive coaching staff out. The entire coaching staff. And the personnel that you have right now to match that coaching staff and that coaching staff's philosophy, they don't match. The quarterback doesn't match. The running back doesn't match. The offensive line doesn't match. And the wide receivers but one matches, and that's Devontae Smith. Where in the world is this a spread offense in personnel alone? This is a complete rebuild. Sills, Lomu and Proctor at 23 don't make sense. They're 27 and 29, trade back, get the same player at the end of round 1. Absolutely. Now you're doing it, Kyle. Look at the grades. Don't look at the name of the players in the draft. If you could get a same guy at a grade of 86 at 23 and you trade back and you could get another 86 guy at 30, trade. Of course. It's not about the name on the back of the jersey in the draft. Okay? It's about getting the same type of player. So, folks, this is a complete rebuild on offense. Howie Roseman is going to change the personnel over. They're getting rid of A.J. Brown and they're getting rid of Lane. They're out. Those two dudes are out. Lane Johnson doesn't fit this style. A.J. Brown doesn't fit this style. You know why? He's not a versatile wideout. Spread receivers move around. A.J. doesn't. He doesn't fit what they're going to do. Now, are they going to run a version of it? So let me get this right, okay? And see this guy here, fake. He doesn't know. How would he know? Personnel. So get this, folks. See this? This is not fake news. You fired the entire offensive coaching staff. Did you not? You're changing the way you are going to win games. Are you not? The personnel you have are not that versatile. This is a completely change of pace in what they're going to do. Guys, only knee draggers and people who don't want to hear what we're going to say today won't buy into it. I guarantee you, Lane Johnson retires and A.J. Brown is moved. It's a certainty. You don't have the roster to run what you want to run. And if you think you're going to run a variation of it, why don't you hire more experienced coaches? Every single one of these coaches you hired are nobodies. So let me get this right. You're going to take guys who have no experience at being coaches, really, and an offensive line coach who failed in Minnesota. He failed. I mean, it's a downgrade. It's a massive downgrade, the offensive line coach. But the only reason he's here is because it's a philosophy change. You hired the most inexperienced offensive staff since Nick's been in the building. Am I wrong? And when you have a spread offense, you move receivers around like Puka Nacua, Y, Z, slot. You move those guys around. AJ's never moved around. Like ever. Like ever has he moved around. Ever. Get this. Fake news. Has AJ ever fucking moved around on the offense? Yes or no? Never. Never. I'm wrong? Well, then why did you fire your entire coaching staff on offense? What do you mean we're wrong? And what you're going to do is change something that was successful with inexperienced coaches. I want you to make sense of this. RC3, make sense of this. So you're going to change philosophy that was 50-18 in the last 3 years with people who are the most inexperienced people, and you hired one of the most inexperienced coaches for offensive coordinator. Explain that. Can you? I'll wait. I want someone to explain this. You're going to change completely every single thing you did to almost run a style of offense like you see in Cincinnati with receivers that don't even resemble the Cincinnati Bengals or the Sean McVay wide receivers. They have no similarities. So, Sills, does that completely shut our window, Super Bowl window, because of these moves on offense? They're blowing it up on They're blowing it up on offense. Okay? Prince, listen, people are going to be getting upset today. They can't get rid of the guy in charge, Sills. Prince, they completely revamped the offense and the coaching staff. Did they not? Yes or no? Here, listen. I'll ask all of you, and then we'll go down this systematically. Have they changed every single coach on offense out? Yes or no? Yes or no? Did they change every coach out? Yes, Bob. Okay. Okay. Flexing. Yes. Okay. So there, we got one. So when you change the coaching staff and you change, what was the reason that they changed the offensive line coach? Anybody? We're going to go down this list, and I'm going to prove the point to you that this is a complete direction change and how he is going to change the entire offense around. Okay? They changed the offensive line coach, correct? Why did they change and fire, basically, Jeff Stoutland? Why? Why did they change one of the most successful run coaches, offensive line coaches of all time? Why did they do that? Okay? New rushing style? No. It's a new offense. Saquon Barkley doesn't fit. Okay. Let's just take it from what he just said. Does Saquon Barkley fit as a pass protector and a pass catcher and a rusher in this new offense? Yes or no? He's brutal in pass protection, and he can't catch passes. So Barkley doesn't fit. Okay? Does Barkley fit the new rushing style? Yes or no? Does he fit? He can't pass protect to save his life. This is a brand new scheme. Okay? So, Taylor, in a brand new scheme, do you think you can change the scheme without changing the people that know how to run that scheme? Do you know? Taylor, can you change a scheme and plug and play the same people in a different style of play? That's like saying Joe Burrow could run an RPO offense. You wouldn't have Joe Burrow run an RPO offense, would you? Would you have him run an RPO offense? When we signed Barkley in 24, the Eagles were glazing on how good his pass protection is. Go back and watch the interviews. He stinks. Okay, good. So we now realize this. The new running back, thanks to M. Reyes, Barkley doesn't fit. It's a new running style. Catching, blocking, and running. Which Barkley's not that guy. So Saquon Barkley doesn't fit the new offense. You got a $20 million running back who doesn't fit what you're going to do. He doesn't fit. This guy doesn't fit. Right? You need somebody like a Bucky Irvin. You need somebody like, okay? Get this. Saquon fits the new style just like running backs before him. Bro, this guy's a liar. He's pathetic in pass protection. He sucks at catching the football. How is he a fit for what? And if you're going to have screen passes, he doesn't catch the football. How many people think that Saquon Barkley is a West Coast running back or a spread offense running back? Anybody? That's right. Alvin Kamara is a guy that fits this offense, not Saquon Barkley. Derrick Henry doesn't fit this offense. A guy like Derrick Henry doesn't fit. Henry, Adrian Peterson, all those guys don't fit. You're making things up. Keith Byers, another great example. That's correct. Barkley can't block. He can't catch. Okay? He can do none of those things. So your running back is obsolete in this new offense. Okay? As we said, when you're spreading the ball around, that's multiple routes. Look it up. They may run a variation of a West Coast, okay? AJ's not going to fit what they're going to do. AJ Brown is too predictable. Okay? Brian Westbrook would be insane great in this offense. He would be insane. Catch, block, run, stretch plays, in between the tackle. Okay? Get this. How many people believe that Saquon Barkley is a West Coast back? Saying dumb shit? Bro, it's dumb to you because you don't know what I'm talking about. You have no idea. Just because you have a player that's a great player, that doesn't mean he fits everywhere. They have fired the entire offensive coaching staff. Okay, Nick, man, some of these people don't like to be told the truth. Nick, why did they fire the entire coaching staff on offense? Nick says that Saquon's a pure West Coast back. In what world are you thinking? West Coast backs are Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey. Bijan Robinson. Here, let me give you what a West Coast back is. Okay? Here's a West Coast back. Let me give you a West Coast guy. And here, let me go here. Here's a West Coast guy. Okay. Bijan Robinson, 287 carries, 1478 rushing. Bijan Robinson, 80 catches, 820 yards receiving. That's West Coast. That's not Saquon Barkley. Okay? Sills, riddle me this. Why is Howie trying to change what has made us successful? With 2 Super Bowl showings under Nick, or is Howie pushing Nick and Hurts out? Great question. Folks, I'll give you another West Coast back. Bijan Robinson had almost 900 receiving yards and 80 catches and 1,400 yards rushing. That's right. Kenny Gainwell would have been sensational in this offense. Let's go to Kenny Gainwell. I'll show you Kenny Gainwell. Kenny Gainwell would be a perfect guy for what they're trying to accomplish. Here's Kenny Gainwell. 537 yards rushing. 500 yards receiving. That's a West Coast back. That's a back that blocks. That's a back that catches the football. This is what, and by the way, these are the coaches you've hired. This is their MO. The stuff that you, get this, the stuff, here. Kenny over Saquon, absolutely. In this offense, yes. You know why? Because the coaches you hired, this is what you're going to do. Saquon can't catch the ball 100 catches. He can't block. He doesn't fit. Okay? It's really ridiculous Why would you change your entire staff then? Why did you just keep the guys you had? If you thought you were going to do the same shit, you think these guys could run and play in the Sean McVay offense? Man, you're not a lot of you in here are not very intelligent on football. You're just not. Sills, I don't get what they're doing. I don't either. Here, Curtis, do you remember me saying this a couple days ago? Curtis, remember me saying DeAndre Swift would be great in this offense? Absolutely. He'd be great. Do you remember me saying this, Curtis, a couple days ago? I made this comment. By the way, guys, please hit the like button. Appreciate you. We're going to know what you're going to do if Jeff Stoutland's here or not. Okay? We're going to know. It's a complete about face. This is a complete change of direction. I think the Philadelphia Eagle coaching staff and the organization came up with the notion this offense has gone as far as it's going to go. Howie flipping the scheme keeps Howie the focus for yet another retool. It also keeps with Howie's belief of plug and play. Yeah, but here's the difference, Bob. The staff's been changed out. You know, how about this? The only time that you see staff change like this is if the head coach has been fired. Will Shipley might be a factor here with this because he can catch, run. Now, look, obviously, he's not a superstar talent in running the ball like Barkley, but Barkley's below average in pass protection. No one wanted to work with Nick. That's why we hired people with different schemes. But you've hired all these people that have a completely different skill set than what you had in the building. They've completely gone in a different direction. Do you actually think that the players fit that direction? This is why you don't like firing coaches. Because when you fire coaches and they want to bring in their scheme, most of the time, the players don't fit. You said Lane doesn't fit in this scheme 10 minutes ago, the best right tackle of all time. Haas, he doesn't fit. This guy's a run and a road grader. They're not doing that. They're going to try to throw the ball 30, 40 times. Best right tackle of all time. That's not true. One of? Yes. No, the problem what you get is, listen, Sills is right. These people don't want to hear that they're rebuilding. In the next 2 years, the entire offense, in my opinion, depending on how well the quarterback plays this year, will be changed out. So as I keep an eye on the kid from Washington, Denzel Boston, he would fit the Eagles' new offense. The next 2 years, they're going to completely change the entire. I think the only people that'll be left will be Devontae. And if Landon can come back, Landon, Mulata. In 2 years, like I said, it'll depend on how well the quarterback plays. There could be only 2 guys left in that offense. Remember I said that. 2 guys left. Landon and Mulata. Big Sills, how do we keep Stout? How do we get Stout back in the building? Not with this offense. By the way, you hired a guy who failed in Minnesota. I did some research on the guy. He failed. I mean, he failed. They had one of the worst O-lines and the lack of player development, and that's why they didn't redo his deal. Won't fit, too predictable. Didn't you also say AJ would kill it in LA with Harbaugh and that style of system? I don't know, man. It seems like, no, well, the quarterback is a spread guy. He knows how to throw the ball and spread the ball around. Okay? He won't fit here with Hurts because Hurts doesn't fit. Dude, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts. Every time Jalen Hurts has played against the Eagles, he beats the piss out of you. Justin Herbert owns the Eagles. Had one of the greatest completion percentage games, like of all time. He had like a 90% completion percentage. Have you ever heard of adapt and overcome? Adapt and overcome at 37? Adapt and overcome. Really? So, Gabe, you think that Joe Burrow could adapt and overcome and run a spread offense? Or, I mean, a RPO offense? He doesn't have the skill set for that. That's like saying, I'm going to take an Olympic 100-yard meter guy and I'm going to run him in a marathon. Hey, adapt. Let's see how good you are. So I'm going to take Usain Bolt. That's a 100-yard meter guy. Hey, I want you to run marathons now. You think that fits? That's obnoxious. Jesus Christ, he'll stop lying. Lying what? What am I lying about? Lying? Yeah, that's what I do, Prince. I sit up at night thinking how to lie to you. Holy shit, what a ding-dong. Foles is successful in the ARP. Foles is a superior quarterback in the pocket than Hurts will ever be. What are you, crazy? Can't wait to see this shit show. I can't either. I don't believe it. How does it feel to see a true defensive team like the Seahawks win a Super Bowl? I saw one a year ago. I'm not impressed that much with the Seahawks. Jason Cole's going to join us, and he agrees with me. That team's not one of the better football teams that has won a Super Bowl in the last 20 years. That's not that hot a team. You take JSN off that offense, very underwhelming. That's not that impressive of a team. Their defense is very good. But for me, I look at that team, that's one of the bottom third teams in Super Bowl history that's ever won. Justin Herbert was terrible in the game. Terrible in that game. Only thing he did better was run, Sills. What are you talking about? Yeah, he beat you with a fucking broken hand. Beat you with a broken hand and 2 tackles that were out in that ball game. And you still couldn't beat him. Think of this. You talk to me about your bullshit quarterback when he doesn't have good numbers and he wins. All Herbert does against the Eagles is win. Matters to him then, doesn't it? You specifically said AJ is too predictable. He is. It's the way to line him up. That being why he won't fit this system. What do you mean I'm flipping? What are you talking about? They're not going to move. He can't. Okay. We're going to do this again here. Man, this is like going to kindergarten school. A.J. Brown, draft profile. Nothing's changed. Follow me, kiddies. Weakness. Faces limited press looks from the slot. Struggles in the slot. That's never changed. When you run like Puka Nacua, out of the slot, out of the Y, out of the Z, that's a spread offense. AJ doesn't do that. The Eagles have never put him in the slot, really, because he struggles in the slot. That's spread offense. Okay? He's on the Y, and sometimes he's on the Z. Most of the time, he's predictable in his alignment. What's made him great is yak and the slant. Other than that, and a little bit of the go. They don't fit. Do you not understand this? How about this? Adrian Peterson and a West Coast offense doesn't fit. Why? Because they're going to throw the ball in that offense. Adrian Peterson fits in a power offense. I can't believe you don't know the difference. If Vic might retire next year, what does that mean for drafting defensive players in the upcoming draft? I think you're going heavy offense. Here, get this. Once again, how you know what they're doing is they have hired people that have no similarities to the previous coaching staffs that you had. Okay? These guys report on Sports 1 Minute tell you that the offense the Eagles run isn't sustainable. So now they change it, and that's not good. I didn't say, no, you're missing it, Angelo. You people are not very smart. You're changing everything too abruptly. You're hiring a brand new coaching staff, and you can't get rid of the players you have under contract. This is not college football where you can go from Tua or from Hurts to Tua because you have 8 quarterbacks that are 5-star kids deep. This is abrupt. You have fired the entire offensive coaching staff for a reason, because you're going with a different approach. Do you think if you go with a different approach with the same players, you think it magically works? Man, where in God's name do you get that? That's like saying a 34 end fits in a 43. He doesn't. Flip-flopping on what? This is your doing. You fired how are you not understanding this? You fired all your offensive coaches because you're going in a different direction. The personnel you have don't fit that direction. What are you not understanding? What in God's name are you? Flip-flop on what? The Eagles are flip-flopping. They're the ones changing. I'm not. I'm watching what you're doing. What are you talking about? I'm not even saying. They don't have the personnel to run West Coast. You don't even have the fucking quarterback to run a West Coast. My God. It's just dumb. Man. So wait a minute. You think that I get it now. It's because you think Hurts can run a West Coast offense. He can't. 4. How many games before they go back to run heavy scheme, Sills? 4. Absolutely. 4 games. They'll go back to doing what they did. Here, let me give you an insight. Do you remember in 24, at the beginning of the year, they were running all that motion and doing all that? They come out of the break and they went back to running heavy. That's what you're going to do again. Because the personnel, you don't have the personnel to run what they're going to do. You said it. It'll magically work with AJ in LA, though, because the quarterback is a spread quarterback. He gets the ball around. He's excellent in the pocket. Hurts isn't. Dude, AJ Brown in Los Angeles with Mike McDaniel and with Jim Harbaugh and with Justin Herbert would catch and go for 1,500 yards because he's an elite quarterback. Good God. Sills, this isn't the 90s. It's a West Coast variant. Hurts is absolutely based off of what, Paul? Paul, based off of what? That you're coming up with that? I mean, based on what? That you've seen where he's gone every week, where he could carry a team from the pocket. Based on what? Without him running. Where did you? He's never done that in his entire career without running. Ever. Sills, I agree that AJ has been used in a predictable style. Do you think that change of being used like Puka or he doesn't have that skill set, Bob. He doesn't have it. He can't move into the slot. But you just said that's not the receiver AJ is. Dude, the quarterback with him in that system, he doesn't have to be moved around. They'll keep him in a primary role in Los Angeles. And then they'll get a guy. Look at Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams is used in that role in Los Angeles like AJ is used here. Puka Nacua is the guy that's moved around YZ slot. AJ will be the 2 in a place like Los Angeles. In an offense like that, you have to have a guy that's multitasking that can move around in multiple positions. AJ's not. You've never done that here. All of a sudden now, you're going to fucking start saying he can do it? Based on what? In his 4 years here, or 3 years here, he's never done that. Man. How come Devontae Adams sucked with Aaron Rodgers with the Jets, Sills? Hypothetical takes are trash. Okay. He did not suck. The offensive line blew in New York. Have you noticed? He goes to a better offensive line. DK Metcalf is used in the same role as AJ. I can't believe that you're not understanding what they're doing. You really believe that if you hire 5 new or 6 new offensive coaches and you have the same personnel and those guys have a completely different philosophy on how you were winning games prior, you think the coaches are going to change? The coaches aren't changing. They're changing the offense. That's right. Cooper Kupp is used in that role. That's correct. But they have that special in Seattle is that JSN and Kupp can be moved around in multiple positions. And that's why that West Coast offense works. Is because they have skill sets. Okay? Don't know, but getting rid of Stoutland is a bad thing. It's a bad thing because, well, not really. Not if, okay, Charles, let's ask this question. Why did they get rid of Jeff Stoutland? Owning me? No, you guys, no. Owning you? So wait a minute. We're going to do the exercise one more time. Why did they fire the entire offensive staff? Anybody? Why did they fire him? Why did they fire the entire offensive coaching staff that went 50-18 and 2 Super Bowl appearances? Bad results? Like what? 50-18, 11-6, 9th best rushing attack? What do you mean? Bad results? You fired your pass coordinator, your run coordinator, your offensive line coach, your quarterback coach. Fired them all. Why? Passing game sucks. You're 50-18. You want numbers or wins? Curious. Why'd you fire them all? Bad results. Okay? So let's just say bad results. Every guy you hired to replace the men that you fired are completely opposite of the people that were here. Why? I'm asking you guys the question now. Why? Why did you hire people that have a completely different philosophy than what you've been doing the last 4 years? Why? I'm asking. Let's see if you can answer. What's this now? Don't want to be a run-heavy team anymore. That's the answer. Oh, okay. So you don't want to be a run-heavy team. Is that why Jeff Stoutland was fired? So you're not going to have a run-heavy offense anymore. Is that what you're saying, Kyle? Okay. Because why? I'm changing. I'm not changing shit. I didn't fire all these people. You did. Okay. So you're going to throw the ball now. Is this correct? You got away from the best offensive line coach since Alex Gibb. Because you want to do, why would you fire Jeff Stoutland? M. Reyes, you're finished today. You should take the rest of the day off. Guys, why did they fire Jeff Stoutland? Why? The owner hates the way the offense looks, okay? See? Stoutland was tired of Sirianni's nonsense. No. Well, wait. Okay, Wheel. How about this? Well, then why did you hire a guy that has and doesn't resemble anything that Jeff Stoutland teaches? He teaches more spread. He's a spread guy. Okay? So you hired an O-line coach that doesn't teach anything that Lane Johnson's been taught for the last 13 years. Why would you do that? Why would you hire an offensive line coach that has no similarities to Jeff Stoutland? Why would you do that? This guy teaches nothing. Not in the same zip code of what he teaches. It's a completely different dude. Why would Lane? So Lane now is going to be taught a different scheme at 36? Why? Because Stoutland wouldn't kiss ass? No. The reason they took the run game coordinating duties away is because they wanted to go in a different direction on how to use the run game to help the pass game and set it up more. You can't even answer your own actions right now. Some people in here can't even answer their own actions. You're making it seem like I'm making shit up. You fired 5 of your 6 offensive coaches, but the wide receiver guy. Everybody's gone. And the significant roles, run coordinator, pass coordinator, quarterback coach, are all new and don't resemble anything of what you did in the last 6 years. Why? Why have you changed? You can't answer it. You're not going to win the Super Bowl every year. You were 50-18. You were arguably in the last 5 years the most successful football team in pro football. You've been to 2 Super Bowls. Only the Chiefs have been better or as good as you in the last 5 years. Why are you changing your entire offensive coaching staff out? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? And the people you replace them with have nothing in common with what you've been doing in the past. Can you answer those two questions? Why? Why did you? Jeff Stoutland got bad in one fucking year? Where he comes off one of the greatest rushing attacks in pro football history? Seals, you think Jalen wants to move the offense around to preserve himself in the careers of the O-line? I don't think Jalen Hurts gives a shit about any of that. No, Leon. You guys think I'm making something up and maybe I'm not seeing what you did. So, Leon, did you fire the O-line coach? Yes. Did you fire the coordinator? Yes. Did you fire the pass game coordinator? Yes. Did you fire the run game coordinator? Yes. Did you bring all new guys in? Yes. Do they resemble in any way whatsoever the people that were here? No. Well, what do you think you're doing then? Enlighten me. What do you think you guys are doing then with all of these moves? Hey, do me a favor, enlighten me. Maybe I don't know. Help me out here. Get this, folks. Am I making this up? You fired the pass coordinator. You fired the run coordinator. You fired the O-line coach. You fired the offensive coordinator. Did you not do that? And did you not hire people that don't resemble anything of those people? That's not made up. Does anybody think that that's made up? You fucking did all those things. What's made up? Tell me what's made up. I don't even have an opinion on that here yet. Did you not do that? Did you not do all those things? I happen to agree. I mean, did you not do all those things? Yes or no? Then why? Okay, wait. Well, then why are people disputing this? So, Pietris, let me ask you this. If you make all those changes, okay, with people that don't coach the style of play that you had the previous 6 years, and they're brand new in your building, and they don't coach the style of play that you had here for 6 years, what do you think is going to happen? Enlighten me. They're making a change in how they're going to approach games. Yes or no? Or is that made up too? Dude, it's like hiring a helicopter pilot to fly a jet. They're two different things. This is correct. They're beginning to replace players. They're going to start replacing players. The next 2 years, they're going to try to do this shit on the fly. And they're going to try to replace players on offense. Why? A couple reasons. Money's owed on the other side, and you've got to get younger. 27th ranked offense the past 2 years. Why not change? Because in the last 2 years, you went 25-7. And you were 3-1 in the playoffs. That's fucking why. Are you about ranking or winning? Laurie was pissed the offense was shit. He always wanted an air attack. He's mandating a McVay scheme, and that will push Jalen and Sirianni out. Brian, you win football games, right? So look at the Eagles, 14-3 last year, 11-6 this year. They were 25-9, 3-1 in the playoffs in 2 years with a Super Bowl title and an NFC championship. What are you changing again? Okay? 25-9. Show me a better team. I mean, if you add it, you're 38-10. The Seahawks are like 31. Or no, what are the Seahawks? The Seahawks don't have that good a record. Trends are telling you what you are doing in that respected week. That's how game plans are made. Once again, we had to educate you on game plans because you don't know how a game plan is made. Game plan is every 3 weeks what the trends are for a team. Okay? The difference between trends and scheme change is night and day. Boy, wow. Unbelievable. This is sad. I'm actually disappointed. Sills, the retooling of this offense is like switching from NASCAR to Formula One. The track is different, so the car needs to change. It requires new guys in the pits as well. Correct, Bob. Bob, NASCAR has smaller tires, okay? Formula One has bigger tires for the turns that they have to go through when they're doing Grand Prix. It's a complete different skill set. But these people in here think you could put a NASCAR driver in a Formula One car because they're drivers or because they play left tackle. It's the dumbest shit I've seen in 6 years doing the show. Can't believe how stupid some of you are. Says Laurie never cared about winning. I don't believe that. It was passing. Duck could win, but have meetings with Laurie. I understand that. The two need to know questions is Jalen or the organization. The reason for stopping the run and who hired the new coaches, Sirianni or the organization. I don't know what you're doing. It just doesn't make sense. And how abrupt it is. Like, you fired everybody. Jeff Stoutland, you fired everybody. And we're going to go here. I'll tell you what, you didn't fire anybody on defense. They didn't play that hot in that game against the Niners. How come you didn't fire anybody over there? And you know what was funny? The coaching on that side of the football is superior. You had all this elite talent, and you couldn't do dick with it because of coaching. Coaching's shitty over there this last year. All up and down the line was shitty. You have all that so-called talent. I think it's overrated. We have elite wide receivers and elite running back. I don't believe you do. Not in that system. There's no fucking way they can't adjust to a different offense. Really. Then why haven't you? Because you were winning. You think Jalen Hurts is going to adapt to this new offense when he's never in his entire career is hilarious. Man, by the way, I can't fucking wait. This will be the end of this guy. He will be hanging out with Jordan. This guy's going to be hanging out with G League dudes. I think it's dumb with current players, but it's Laurie. Could be. Wow, the Birds front office loves fans like this. Oh, my God, you bet. Oh, my God, are you kidding me? They love dudes like this. They love these kind of guys. There's no doubt. They think guys can just automatically play a different skill set. And how many times have people come on this program and say, look, when guys get drafted, it matters where you get drafted to places. Why? Why do you think when people come on our show that are legendary people that come on our program and say, when you get drafted, it matters where you get drafted to? Why? Do you fit the skill? Do you fit what they're doing? Do you not? But you don't hear that. Sills, I'm surprised you haven't mentioned the implementation of the tight end and screen game from Green Bay. Biggest mismatch is the tight end. Jalen, D. Smith, Barkley, two tight ends, mix of Ravens and Packers offense. David, I think they are going to do a little of that, but Jordan Love is a better quarterback in the pocket at spreading the football around than Hurts doesn't resemble any of these quarterbacks in the league. I mean, he has no, of all the quarterbacks that have been in the Super Bowl in the last 10 years, he's the worst pocket passer of them all. I mean, on a week-to-week basis, he's the worst. Foles is better. I mean, but that, again, he wins games differently. It's not an indictment on his resume. He's just different. It's so funny how you're hoping on his down. Hoping? I'm not hoping for anything. I'm just telling you what my opinion is, guy. You don't like it? Can't help you, kid. Seals Mannion loves 12 personnel. We need to draft Shadiq. Seals, do you think that the scheme change away from the power scheme might help both Landon and Cam? We're going to have to wait and see how they are in pass protection. Which, by the way, the Eagles were, hey, Kyle, what were the Eagles ranked in pass protection last year? Because they weren't bad. The quarterback just held on to the ball too long. Both moved very well, and if they stopped going nose to nose, it could, yeah. I'll tell you what, that'll end in tush push for sure. 100%, Bob. Pass pro was good with the banged up. Yeah, it was good. Thanks, Joe. 7th overall. That's where they're looking right now. Do you understand? 7th overall in pass protection. By the way, was Jalen Hurts one of the top quarterbacks with time in the pocket a year ago? So I'm going to show you a number here. Kyle, somebody. Was he in the top 5 for the most time that he had to throw in the pocket? Was he? Okay, no, wait a minute. Was it 2.8? He was 7th. Hurts is 7th in the league in time to throw the ball. And he averaged 3 seconds in the pocket. One of the biggest numbers in the league. And you were 7th in pass protection. And your offensive passing attack was 25th. You figure it out. You're a stupid clown hating on a man every day. No, I'm not hating on bro, you got me wrong, Marcus. I'm talking about your changes. They're making changes because of the quarterback. They're making changes because of the pass game. Well, who's in charge of the pass game? The quarterback. I mean, what the hell are you talking about? We're talking about what you're doing here. Dude, these moves are indicting everybody. on what the pass game has been like. Man, you guys moan, and boy, do you cry. Seriously, man, some of you guys are just like moaners. It's wild. Wait till you get a load of the second Wait till you get a load of the second topic. Sills is not lying. Facts equal hate, apparently. Yeah, no, that's right. Thank you, Coyote. Get this. They think that there was no firings on the offense. They hired people who completely do everything differently. And they think what? Well, the players will adapt to it. Really? Based on what? You've seen that before? I mean, I can't wait for Jalen to fail. Coming from a loving place. Yeah, because they're putting him in a failing position. They're not bringing coordinators in here to help Hurts. They're bringing coordinators in to try to change Hurts. Why? That's people who hire people every day in life. Bring them in and try to change people instead of letting them do their jobs. Sound familiar? If you just kept growing Hurts from 22, he'd be, God knows how much more winning he would have had if you just kept him on the same track that Shane had him on. No. Let me ask you this. Do you think the passing game has gotten better since 22? Yes or no? Yes or no? Do you think it's gotten better? Since 2022, has the passing game gotten better? Anybody? Watch this. Yes. Anybody? Obviously not. Okay? So it hasn't. Well, so that's 2022, 23, 24, 25. That's 4 years of non-development of Jalen Hurts. Whose fucking fault is that? Whose fault is that? Hurts or the Eagles? I don't blame Jalen for that. Whose fault is that? For not elevating his game. Well, okay. You're right. Why didn't you stick to doing and teaching him tricks that he knew? Why didn't you teach him and keep him on the same track of when he was 2022 and keep elevating it like Shane did? Hey, let me ask you this, guys. Do you think that Shane Steichen elevated Daniel Jones last year before he got hurt? Yes or no? Personal, I don't know him from a can of paint. So Shane elevated Daniel Jones and made him a better player, right, Abe? Well, how come the Eagles haven't made Jalen Hurts a better player from the pocket in the last 4 years? Can you tell me? Anybody? Because they don't hire coordinators to help Jalen. They hire him to help Nick. With arguably the two best receivers duo for sure. They've tried this already and went running the ball after 4 games. Absolutely. I don't blame the coaches. Is Hurts mute? Step up and engage. Why? A duel. When you're making $51 million and you're winning games, are you really going to holler? We're going to get to that here in a second here, by the way. Okay, we are. Wow, that one topic was kind of tough. By the way, Jason Cole at 3:30. Big Z will join us at 4:30. Boy, this is tough to swallow, I see. You're revamping your offense personnel-wise and coaching-wise, and you don't like it. I don't blame you. By the way, I'm not fighting you. I don't get it. I'm not fighting you. I'm not. I'm not fighting you. I don't get it. Dude, if I'm 50-18 and I have all this winning, I'm going to continue to evolve what I'm doing, not do something different. You're going to do something different with people that are really good players, assuming they could take on these new challenges. Is ridiculous. Why'd you draft them? Man, this just does not make sense unless it's a rebuild. Now, look, I think Mulata can handle it. Believe it or not, I think Landon will be better because of it. I don't think Cam's getting out of this. Tyler Steen, it may actually help Tyler Steen. You're going from a power team to a finesse team. Like it or not, you're not going to be a power team anymore. You're going to be a finesse team. This is exactly what Nick has coached his entire career. They basically have given, I think, Nick the keys to go, all right, Nick was brought up in this. I was with him in San Diego with this. What style of back did they have? Hey, Kyle, tell these people, what kind of back did they have when Nick was in San Diego with Phillip Rivers? And it wasn't LaDainian Tomlinson. Does anybody remember what type of back they had? Anybody? LaDainian Tomlinson was already gone by then. Do you know what kind of back? Jalen Hurts took a blowtorch to the offense, Hills. Looks like the kid has everyone running away like he has coochies. Like it's cooties. And this is pathetic. Melvin Gordon and who else? Not Sproles. There's one more. Did anybody say Austin Eckler? Austin Eckler? Did anybody say that? There you go. Austin Eckler, Melvin Gordon, guys who could catch the football, guys who could run with it. They didn't have that kind of, they didn't have Adrian, they didn't have LaDainian Tomlinson there. They had guys like Austin Eckler and Melvin Gordon. If anyone watched that offense last year and thinks we don't need a whole new change because the league figured us out, then you need to be in the Luty bin. That's what the coaching staff did in this offseason. I completely agree with you. I think they had a come to Jesus conversation. And they said they've caught up with this and we're going to have to revamp the offense. Dude, revamping the offense doesn't just mean the freaking coaches. It means the personnel too. Sills, they should have kept Brian Johnson if they wanted Jalen to progress in the passing game. That's turning out to be true. Sills, I think Hurts can handle the changes coming. He's had new changes every year. He's still been able to win. Yeah, but what was the one thing that was in common with all the changes? You had a dominant running attack. You had a dominant running attack. Lane isn't retiring, according to Baldy. Was that before or after Stoutland retired? When I asked Baldy that question, that was before Jeff Stoutland was pushed out. Was it not? Baldy asked Lane if he was retiring, and he was coming back at the time. Why don't you re-ask that question again? Re-ask that question now. Jalen leaves the pocket because he can't see. He's not patient in the pocket. Hey, so here, I'll show you something else. Let me go here with AJ. And this is a guy you're going to have run your spread offense or a variation of it. Has issues sustaining rhythm as a passer with so many off-schedule throws. Inconsistent patience allowing routes to develop. Fuck, if you can't have patience in allowing routes to develop, what are you doing running a West Coast offense? Slow recognition for early throw opportunities. Offense. Leaves slants and crossovers behind targets. Throws behind the receiver. Does it still. Misses checkdowns and ops. And goes for the harder throw. Still does that. Deep arm ability, I believe he's gotten better there. Forces speedsters like at OU and Alabama to have to slow down to catch up with his pass. Needs to get better at trusting in the pocket. This is all the same shit that was said about him in 2020, and you're going to run the West Coast offense with that. Good luck. Good luck. By the way, I didn't write that about him. I didn't put that out there about him. Emmanuel Acho was at a Super Bowl party where he spoke to NFL players, and Jalen was there. Apparently, he was sitting in a room alone, away from others. Thoughts? Some guys are just like that, dude. It's okay. Hey, you sit in a room by yourself, and you don't want people bugging you. I know a lot of people like that. Hey, quarterbacks are weird, like everyone else. I don't really take that. Joe Montana was one of the weirdest dudes, okay, of all time. But one thing Joe was accessible. You could walk right up to Montana and say something to Joe, and he'd sit there and talk to you about anything. Okay? Saquon is elite. Not in this offense, he ain't. 36 footballs? You think, dude, I just told you what a West Coast offensive guy is. It's more of a guy like Gainwell who catches 50, 60 passes and rushes for like around 600 yards and can block. Man, Saquon Barkley is not a West Coast back. Who told you that? He's never been in one. He was in an RPO one with Daniel Jones in New York. And he was kind of in a pseudo one here. Where in the world was he ever in a high volume passing offense? And did you not watch him in pass protection this last year? I saw one game where he almost got Hurts killed. I mean, Hurts seems like the type that only hangs out. I don't really care about that. Laurie's in his mid-70s. Clearly, he wants to see the team's offense play the way he enjoys seeing the game before he kicks the bucket. That's stupid. Or maybe it's the right time. There's nothing wrong with being, listen, an introvert. I don't either. Saquon Barkley is limited, makes perfect sense. On what? He just ran for 20. You're not going to run the ball in a spread for 2,600 yards. Name me one offense that was a spread offense that had a 2K rusher or even an 1,800-yard rusher. What are you talking about? Dude, you've hired brand new offensive coaches that don't resemble the 2,600. What are you not understanding? Seals, the funny thing about a West Coast back is that they need a quarterback that can read defenses. That's correct. Hey, Roger Craig just went in. Roger Craig's a West Coast guy. He's a dual threat dude, can catch it, can block, and can run. That's a dual threat guy. Sills, when is getting Saquon in space a bad idea? How come you've never done that? Now you don't have a quarterback that throws intermediate passes. He throws 5-yard outs. He doesn't. Let me ask you this, my friend. Do you think the Eagles have a check down game and a screen game? In the 6 years that Jalen Hurts has been the starting quarterback, do you have a screen game? Yes or no? Do you believe that's a skill set that he has? Throwing checkdowns and screens. Now he's going to do it? West Coast running back, 1,100 yards rushing, 600 yards receiving. Definitely not Barkley. Correct. Like the guy in Atlanta. Hey, by the way, Mikey, remember how he tried trading for Christian McCaffrey? Okay? Sills doesn't watch the games the Eagles win. Remember, folks, he never has input, so he's never had to expand on how the Eagles have evolved in certain facets. Where have they evolved in the passing game? Where have they evolved in the pass game? Where have they evolved in a screen game? Where have they evolved in the middle of the field throwing the ball? Where have they evolved in the quarterback having patience in the pocket with the most time to throw, with the 7th best pass protection? Where have they evolved? I mean, where have they evolved? Seals, do you think Howie would consider Linda? Maybe. But that's too much money. You got tied up in Landon or Cam. Seals, the Packers aren't a high-volume passing offense. At least based on Love's numbers, I think they're a balanced offense, which is what the Eagles need. All right? That's not a bad take. But what's the one thing that you have that's different in Green Bay that you don't do in Philly? You have a massive tight end in Green Bay. And the quarterback is tall and throws across the middle of the field. And the quarterback's completion percentage is higher. So it's more effective. The running game is like 1,300 yards up there. It's just to protect third down. They're trying to be between 3 and 5 yards on third down. The key to Green Bay's success on offense is they got to win first and second down. And the tight end helped them a lot. The tight end is the number one target when he was healthy, was he not? Well, the tight end in Philadelphia is the third target at best. Jalen needs to watch film on Brees so he can learn to take deep dropbacks. He did. He took 9 instead of 7. Okay? They need to roll out. How come? That's a great take right here. Hey, the real. How come Hurts doesn't roll out more and they don't put him in space like Aaron Rodgers in his younger day? What do you think? Okay? You tell me. Real. How come they don't roll Hurts more? What do you think? Why do you think they don't move him around them? Okay? How come they don't move him? He's an athlete. Because he panics under pressure. Right. He rolls right to the sidelines. Hurts doesn't really stay in the pocket and try to evade, right? He runs to the sideline. What happens, Real, when you run to the sideline? You limit the space on the field to throw the ball, which means this. He has the out of bounds as his failsafe. So if it's incomplete, it's protecting the football, which is not a bad thought. But it limits your throws. You got the sidelines. You're taking on 12 guys every time he rolls. He closes that's right. He closes the field when he rolls like that. When Aaron Rodgers rolled or Montana early in his career rolled, they didn't roll to the sidelines. They rolled to the hash so that they could still have the sidelines in space. Hurts rolls to the sidelines. You're condensing the field, limiting your space to throw the ball. So if it's incomplete, I get it. He's out of bounds and it's not a turnover. But you become predictable and you're limited because you're not rolling to the hash. Next time you watch a really great quarterback, they roll to the hashes. They don't roll to the sidelines. Only the people with happy feet or a guy like Allen can get away with that because he's so fucking big. Why would Jalen Hurts step up in the pocket when he can't see over the line of scrimmage? What, so he can't see more? You're limiting the middle of the field when you do step up. He can't step up in the pocket. He's 6'1", 6 feet. In the West Coast offense, it's called sprint. Right. It's called sprint option. It's right. Aaron Rodgers is the architect of the greatest sprint out guy I've ever seen. He's a weapon out there in his heyday. But go back and watch some game film on him. He doesn't sprint to the sidelines. He sprints to open space, turns his hips, puts his feet in great position. He's a tremendous athlete. He's the best sprint out quarterback I've ever seen. It's a skill set to do that. Jason Cole will join us. We're going to talk some Super Bowl with him. By the way, I want you to hear what Jason said about that Seahawks team, and I think it's a missed opportunity for Philly. I'm not impressed with the Seahawks. I think they're a good team. A great team? I don't think that's a great team. Then the Eagles need to make the line better. Okay, well, wait. They need to make the line better? They need to make the line different. You got a power running offensive line. By the way, here's something I want to say, though. on how dangerous this move is that you guys are making. Tell me something. What has been the identity of your 2 Super Bowl wins? I'm going to make a comparison to you. What has been the identity of your 2 Super Bowl wins in Philadelphia? Your identity has been what? Your O-line. The way you ran the ball. Just like in Tampa. I said this to Buck fans today. They've made so many changes on their offensive coaching staff. You're not going to recognize them. Okay? Well, what's the thing that personified the Bucks when they won those Super Bowls? Yes, Brady was on that second one. But, dude, that defense they had was lights out. And the Buck defense with Sapp and those guys, bro, you won football games with those defenses. Stopping Mahomes. The way they stopped him in the Super Bowl, it was almost like the 24 Eagles. They crushed him. The Bucks defense crushed Mahomes in that Super Bowl. They fucking crushed him. The Bucks defense crushed the Raiders. That's their identity. They've gotten away from it. They're not very good on defense right now. And you're changing your mentality and becoming now a finesse team. Dude, it's a complete philosophical change from who you are or were to who you want to be. I mean, this is going to be a different Eagle team, except on defense. This is going to be completely different. And it creates more questions. That's all I'm saying. It's just going to create more question marks. I mean, I can't wait to see it. I mean, this is going to be a pretty interesting conversation here. All right. So we're going to talk with our friend Jason Cole here now. And I got to tell you something. Jason said something to me the other day, and I wanted you guys to hear this. And I think this is a lost opportunity from the Eagles because at the end of the day, when I and Jason watched this Super Bowl on Sunday, I'm sorry, but I wasn't impressed with either team. I think that defense in Seattle is a really good group. But to sit there and say that that's one of the greatest teams that we've seen play in Super Bowl time, I'm not there. So we'll talk about that. We'll also talk about the new coaching hires that are going on, especially with what the Eagles are doing. We'll do that now. We'll bring in our Hall of Fame voter, Jason Coley, joins us now. Jace, how you doing, brother?
I'm great, man. How are you?
Do you agree, Jace, that the Seahawks, if you had to put it in the last 20 years, maybe one of the more unimpressive football teams that you've seen win the Super Bowl is the Seahawks team?
I'm trying to think here. The Giants team, if you go back and you look at the regular season, probably the second one, not the first one. The second one was weaker than the first one. The first one had guys up front, like, a lot of guys who could play, Strahan, and they were six deep in pass rushers, Kiwanuka, Yura, Tuck, other guys.
Strahan was on the first one, right?
Strahan was on the first one, was not there for the second one. They did a really nice job in the second one still, but I would say the first one was a better team. I would say they're about the same as that. Eli Manning is probably a better quarterback than Sam Darnold, especially in big games. I mean, he was required to make some big throws, and Sam didn't have to make any big throws in this last game. So it's hard to judge on that one. This game was kind of put away. it was put away by Drake May's failure to perform. And if you go back before that, I'd say that Tampa team under John Gruden was also a really great defense. I think a better defense than this Seattle team, but the offense, I think this Seattle offense is a little bit better than that Tampa offense. So they kind of even out. So you're going back 25 years, and that Ravens team, there's certainly a better offense than that Ravens team, that the first one with Ray Lewis that won. But the defense, I mean, come on, that's one of the 2 or 3 best defenses. I would argue that Ravens defense was actually better than the Bears in '85, but that's me personally. That's just a matter of taste.
Do you agree that if you're going to make a comparison on Sam Darnold, that Sam Darnold would probably be, and I talked to Brad Johnson this morning, and I'm really good friends with Brad Johnson. He's a better version of Brad Johnson.
Oh yeah, he's more gifted than Brad. I mean, Brad was cerebral, tough, but Sam can make a lot of throws. I mean, Sam can make throws that Brad Johnson couldn't make. Do I trust him to avoid? I would trust Brad Johnson to make fewer mistakes than Sam Darnold, even to this day. So the sum total is probably the same. But if you just want to go on physical talent, like if you went out and did, pass, punt, and kick competition with just the throwing part of it, and had those guys line up, I mean, Sam Darnold, he laps him up and down the field in terms of arm strength.
Do you agree that you don't have to have an elite quarterback to win Super Bowls?
Once in a while. Most of the time you need to have an elite guy. Last 25 years, if you didn't have an elite guy, you better get really lucky, and a guy better get really hot, like Nick Foles, Joe Flacco. Other than that, there's not. This is the Breeze, Manning, Breeze, Brady era was pretty substantial, right? You had to have a special guy. This is a downturn in quarterbacking, so maybe that door is opened up. But I kind of get the feeling you're going to have Burrow back. I think Lamar Jackson is going to return to form. Josh Allen is still there. Mahomes is going to get healthy. Things are going to get a little bit better next year. This was an odd year where a lot of guys just fell out.
I'm going to ask you a question because I'm going to ask everybody in Philly. I was going to save this, but I'm going to ask you. So there's a conversation right now going on in Philadelphia here, and they've changed the entire coaching staff out. They've obviously Jeff Stoutland, him leaving, and I talked to Adam Kaplan, and Adam Kaplan said that he was demoted, and Jeff Stoutland did not really appreciate some of the conversations that were going on with his demotion, and that's why he basically quit. They hire a guy who's more of a West Coast guy. With all that being said, this offseason, would you extend Jalen Hurts?
No. Pretty firmly, no. I think the first extension was good. I think you bought him off for a number of years, but now and he rubs enough guys on the team the wrong way that he's got things. Did you lose for?
Yeah, just a little bit. Can you repeat that, Jace? Go ahead and repeat that. Why you wouldn't extend?
I would not extend it because I think he's rubbed enough guys the wrong way on the team, and he needs to prove that he can evolve as a player. Some of the things that he's done during the regular season, they're starting to catch up with. But the bigger thing is, can you keep a guy like AJ Brown on the same page with you? I mean, that's your job as a quarterback. The coach is there, but you got to make that guy understand he's part of the equation. You got to feed him somehow. You got to make him understand he's important to you as a quarterback. And I think that Jalen Hurts, especially a guy like Jalen Hurts, who's a limited passer, you need all the reinforcements you can get. And I think that I wonder if Jalen has sort of bought into his own BS a little bit.
Fair enough. And I'll ask you this. Don't you think these dual threat guys have a smaller ceiling than guys who are pocket guys? Because, Once you stop running, which he did and which he has, like you said, he's not an elite guy from the pocket. He's not going to win games from the pocket there. And this is what they're trying to evolve now. And to me, if you're changing the offense, I mean, you might as well change the quarterback out.
Well, I would ride it out for a little while. Like, I mean, he's good, and he's had two spectacular Super Bowl. He is good, and you don't want to just look. Don't throw out the baby with the bathwater just yet. I mean, you want to see can he evolve? You know, do I have doubts about that? Sure, I have doubts about that. You know, do I? You know, but you don't just throw a guy to the side. You know, in this situation. I mean, that's a fantasy football kind of conversation. Like there's a real football discussion that has to be had. And are the odds against it? Sure. But what are you going to replace him with? I mean, there's nothing out there. You know, what do you think they're going to get?
Yeah, but Jason, I just watched a guy win a Super Bowl who was on 5 teams.
Yeah, but he was still first round pick. He's still
that's
talented.
A one-up. You think that's an off, right?
Yeah, I think it's a one-off, and I don't think it makes you very consistent. I want to see if I want to be consistent with my quarterback play. More often than not, you're not going to have a year again where Joe Burrow gets hurt, Lamar Jackson gets hurt, Patrick Mahomes gets hurt. You know, like everybody who's supposed to be good. You know, San Francisco loses 2 key players. You know, Philadelphia kind of falls apart and is not very good. Like that doesn't happen very often. And then you get on a roll. I mean, look, in the fourth quarter of that game between Seattle and the Rams and the second one in the regular season, everybody's sitting there going, oh, the Rams are going to roll here. They're the best team in football. You know, 8 minutes and an overtime later, Seattle pulls off a miracle and they get on a roll. And here's the other thing. Defensive teams don't last. Okay, they look at the history. They win one title, and here's my theory on defenses. It's great to have a really good one. You want to build a great one. Sometimes it can cover up for lack of a quarterback. And everybody says, oh, you don't want to spend on a quarterback. You'd rather spend on defensive guys. Keeping a defense together is more expensive than building around one quarterback because you got to pay 4, 5, 6, 7 guys premium wage rather than paying one guy premium wage and then surround him with other guys. So in the long run, it's better to build around a quarterback. You're more consistent for a longer period of time. You play a more consistent offense. That's why, the Bradys and the Mannings and the Breezes, those guys make their teams competitive every year. A good defense, they last until those guys start to break down. And they usually break down really fast. That's how it happens.
So for you, you're looking at, look, like you said, Jalen's a good player. Build around him. I mean, because what you're saying, right, the mistake that Brandon Beane's making in Buffalo is that you got a sensational guy and they're not building around him. They're leaning on the quarterback to have to carry that team on a week-to-week basis. And theoretically, it's not working.
They tried. It's not working right now. I mean, like Diggs, fell out of favor, and Keon Coleman hasn't worked out. The 2 tight ends are okay, but they're not what they expected them to be. Obviously, the running back is terrific, okay? But and the offensive line is solid, not great, but nobody's offensive line is that good. You got to keep replenishing that along with drafting guys on defense who can run. Like, if you have a quarterback like Josh Allen, you want to play higher scoring games where you're gambling on turnovers, forcing turnovers by your defense, blitzing a lot. Don't play bend but don't break. Make sure that you're going full throttle all the time. There's some ways to play for that team, and I don't think they've quite figured it out. Look, they're probably one play from being in the Super Bowl, and I would argue if you put Josh Allen against Seattle, I think he plays a little bit better than Drake.
Yes, okay. Yes, I would say. Yeah, I would think he plays a little better. Couple more questions for you here, Jace. You think Clint Kubiak does anything in Las Vegas, or is that just because of the owner? It's just never going to happen there. I mean, I know they're going to probably get Fernando Mendoza. Do you see Clint Kubiak going there and doing anything?
I hope so. I hope for him, because Gary's I've known Gary for a long time, and you want guys to succeed. I would feel better if Tom Brady was in the building every day, because I think that Mark Davis does more to undermine the authority of his coaches than to help. Because I
Are
think
you
he
a fan of
becomes too close.
Spytek? Are you a fan of Spytek, the general manager?
He's fine. I mean, the problem with him is not. It ain't the bishops and the pawns and the knights and the rooks and it's the king. The king is the problem. Okay, the king is a foof. Okay, and he's too buddy with the players, and just like Al was at the end of his career, he lets the players get away with too much. Like Max Crosby had a direct line to Mark Davis, so anytime Pete Carroll wanted to do anything, Max would just call Mark and get his way, right? I mean, it's just not. It's a dysfunctional place, and you need to have Tom there to look at Mark and say, Mark, back away from doing that. Go pay attention to how you run the team. Go pay attention to how you make money. You have to keep a certain distance between yourself and the players. That's how you manage a team. You can be friends with the players, but they have to know that the coach has authority. And in Las Vegas, they don't. They just don't. And look, Pete was there just cashing out too, but that's a different matter.
All right, so I got to tell you, when you were on my morning show the other day, I got a call from Michael Irvin, and Deion Sanders heard the interview, and he made a comment saying that we need to have players voting for the Hall of Fame, and all you guys. And I told Michael, listen. So I text Deion, and I said, listen, dude, you don't watch the games. You don't really look how you guys. It's been a lot of heat on you guys. I mean, have you heard if any changes are coming, or what have you made about all the backlash that you guys took on not having Belichick or Kraft in the Hall of Fame?
Well, I mean, I think some of it's deserved. I mean, we didn't vote in Belichick. Kraft, it's again, that's a numbers game. That's a tougher one. Okay. And the system is not functional, but that doesn't apply to Belichick. We should have put Belichick in. That's our fault. And we got to take the blame for that. And I voted for him, and I understand some of the people's arguments for not voting for him. I disagree with them. Again, as I've told you a couple of times, he was the best person on the ballot. Whether you're talking about the 5 or you're talking about the 15, all 20 people, he was the best guy on the ballot. And the cheating is overrated. But for players to come in and want to swoop in and say, oh, well, we need to, I mean, you got your own favorites too. And here, I would tell Michael and Deion to their face, and you can relay this message. If it were up to Hall of Fame players, T.O. still wouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, all right? Because they hated that guy. They take out grudges. Here's another bit of information. I told you this the other day. Look at the Baseball Hall of Fame. Look at what happened last month. Jeff Kent, good player, really good player, good power hitter, especially for second base, made it to the Hall of Fame. Who were the guys that he jumped? Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, and Gary Sheffield. And that panel of people was who? Executives and former players. The players are much more harsh than the media. Yeah. And so Michael and Deion can go and shout all they want and cry all they want, all that. The players are just as bad as the media. Okay? It's all a human process. And fully admitting we should have put Belichick in. And we will put Belichick in next year. I mean, it'll happen, right? But don't tell me that, you have to have played the game. Because no. I know for a fact Deion didn't watch. And I mean, like Deion's famous tweet at Kevin Byard. He didn't know who Kevin Byard was. That's an all-pro guy. I mean, come on. I mean, just stop. If you want to criticize us for not putting Belichick in, fine. But understand the whole system and understand that all of you guys and Dion's at the head of that line because he's public about it, want less guys in the Hall of Fame, not more. Why? Because it's their own private club, and they want it to be as exclusive as possible. This is just like living the high life in Miami back in the day from Michael or whatever Dion did in Tallahassee.
Oh, yes. I will make sure I say that.
Quote me on that one to Michael, because he'll probably laugh at that. So.
Michael will. Dion will probably block me again. So, I mean, because
whatever.
He's getting very upset with people because he goes, hey, I heard Jason Cole saying that, I'm out of line. I go, I don't think he said out of line. I think he just said, I don't think you get it. And I told Michael, I agree. I know the work you put into it. I do. I know the work you put into it.
I work really hard, and I'm not saying I know more about football than those guys. I would never, ever dare say that. But I work at it. If you're going to do it, work at it. And that's what the guys who are going in deserve. And
absolutely.
As far as the changes, we'll see. They may get rid of the whole panel. Who knows? I don't. Frankly,
I hope
if
not.
that's it for me, I don't. If that's it for me, I don't care. Like it's theirs. I don't own it. It's their system.
Why would they ever do that? Jace, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much.
All right, we'll talk to you later. Be good.
You got it. That is Jason Cole. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, they're talking about potentially changing out voters. They're talking about a system. They're talking about all that stuff. So hopefully it doesn't go down that lane. All right. Hit the like button. We appreciate you guys. Okay. I asked him the question, and now I'm going to ask you guys the question. So I believe it's going to be a complete rebuild. On WIP, I had Hugh Douglas ask me a question. No, excuse me. It was Rhea Hughes who watches the program. Thank you, Rhea. She's on the morning show at WIP. She can't come on because the Eagles told her she can't come on. So that was conveyed to me by Angelo and by Rhea. So we appreciate her, though, watching it. She thinks all of you guys are characters. Okay? All right. So they were debating an extension for Jalen Hurts, which I'm adamantly against, and I'm glad to hear Jason Cole say that. I'm not changing my offense to a spread offense with a quarterback who's not a spread quarterback and giving an extension this offseason. Do you believe the Eagles should give Jalen Hurts a contract extension? Now, what's the big conversation always? How he likes to get ahead of things. How many people in here would extend him right now? By the way, I'm on the record. Never in a million years would I. Hit the like button. Supers go to the top. ESP was saying that if they deny Jalen should ask for a trade. Can I make a suggestion? You want to get rid of Hurts? Don't extend him. Call his bluff on that. I saw that too, Abe. You want to get that no trade gone? Don't extend him. That's why I say you let him play it out. If you don't extend him now this offseason, does that piss him off? And by the way, it's almost like betting on themselves. Khalid, no. Why would you? Hey, what I want to hear right now is, why would you extend him? And why would you not? Okay? Win another Super Bowl. Hurts then gets your extension. KCA. Hurts wins another Super Bowl. I'm going to make him the highest paid player in the sport. Because then he would have proved everyone wrong. And you can't deny 3 Super Bowls and 2 wins. And everything I said about being a caboose, you can't dispute it. It's irrelevant. Whatever I say, it's irrelevant. But they're changing the offense for a reason. Okay? Only if he wins the Super Bowl, he gets the extension. That's it. Nick's the caboose. I'm going to get as many of you in here, okay? Why would you extend him? And why would you not? I'm not for extending him. Saves you money. Multiple no trade clause years, which I'm not a fan of. Telling Hurts shit or get off the pot this year. Okay? Kimberly. No. Okay? Big step back to get the head coach fired and no new deal for the quarterback. No, because he will play above his skill for a new deal. They already in contract talks. No, they're not. Elway, they may be in restructure, but they're not in contract talks. For what? Contract talks? For a guy who finishes in the bottom of the NFL in passing? Why would you be? You fired your entire offensive coaching staff. Your passing attack's the worst in pro football, one of them, for any contending team. And you're going to extend that with contract talks? You fucking crazy. It's a bull-faced lie. I think it depends on how things look with the O-line and weapons. Okay? Yes, we extend him because we have nothing better on the horizon or anything close. I just saw Sam Darnold win a Super Bowl. Okay? And see this dickhead? I just saw Justin Fields invited to the Pro Bowl, and I saw Shedeur Sanders go. Whatever, guy. We'll be telling if we get a quarterback in this draft. Absolutely. This is great stuff, you guys. It's a big conversation going on in Philly now. Do you extend Jalen Hurts? Or he isn't stupid. He knows Jalen's limited. I agree. He knows the quarterback's limited. Will it be telling him? Yes. Why would extend a black person, Sills? That's silly for us to even think. What are you talking about? I'm not even sure what the hell you're saying, guy. Sills, you're straight up moving the goalpost. What am I moving the goalpost on? Either that or you just can't follow along. 2 trips, best player in both. Dude, I just saw fucking Sam Darnold win a Super Bowl. And you still need another to win. I didn't say he had to win another one. I don't give a shit. He's limited. I think he's Sam Darnold. I think, okay, so if Sam Darnold goes back to the Super Bowl and wins another one, that dismisses everything about Hurts. Does it not? If Darnold wins another one or goes to another one, it dismisses everything, right, about Jalen. Does it not? Hey, dude, see this guy? So Jim Plunkett, according to you, is a Hall of Fame player too, and a great elite player because he won 2 Super Bowls and a Super Bowl MVP. Is that right? Dude, because you win a Super Bowl, that doesn't make you elite. That doesn't mean you're an elite player. Based on what? Nick Foles wasn't elite. Sam Darnold's not elite. Let's be realistic, Sills. Is there anyone out there better than Jalen that we may draft or in a free agent? Yeah, I think Mac Jones is a better pocket passer than Jalen Hurts. And if you want to go to an offense that spreads the ball with all your changes, that's why we started it off with all the changes that you are not buying. Some of you don't buy the changes. You have changed your offense completely with your hires. They are not remotely close. The hiring of this guy, Chris Cooper, he does nothing remotely close to what Stoutland did. Nothing remotely close. Nothing. They are completely different coaches. Sills, how hilarious would it be if Tua comes in and takes Jalen's job? Yeah, well, I think Tua's probably going to the Jets. Either him or Kyler Murray going there. Sam Darnold got as good a chance. What's this? Sam Darnold got about as good a chance of me of getting to another Super Bowl. Really? They just won one fucking 2 days ago. You don't think Seattle's better than you right now? Are you under the guys that you think the Eagles are better than Seattle? Jalen has elite players around him and still struggles. Correct. Sills, what's the percentage do you think that Jalen will be productive in this new offense? The question will be on how much West Coast they put into it. If you're going full bore West Coast, 0. If they're going 60% new West Coast, he'll probably succeed. But all the West Coast listen, let me show you something here. And let's start from this basis. What is a prototype West Coast quarterback? And then you tell me if you think Jalen will have success. What is a prototype West Coast QB? Okay. You tell me if Jalen Hurts fits this ID of what they want to do. Okay. The prototype West Coast passing quarterback is a highly efficient, intelligent, and accurate passer who excels at executing quick timing routes and short to intermediate throws within a horizontal ball-controlled offense. They are typically characterized by their ability to process defenses rapidly, manage a game, and get the ball out quick. Every fucking thing that said there Hurts doesn't do. Precision timing. They are masters at rhythm, throwing the ball before the receiver breaks. Requiring excellent footwork and trust in the system. Accurate with a strong arm is viable. Extremely accuracy is a mandate. And more critical, pocket discipline. They are skilled at operating within the pocket, often avoiding sacks through anticipating rather than athleticism. This guy takes 45 sacks a year. Where in the world, in anything I've mentioned, Joe Montana, the original prototype, defined by timing, accuracy, calm, and demeanor. Brady, amplified the cerebral, high completion, and accurate pocket passing required to run this system. Modern era. Now, not the Brady era or the Montana era of 1988. Modern era. While the West Coast system has evolved to include more RPOs, which the Eagles aren't running, quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers have been cited as the prototypical due to their ability with high-level processing. All shit Hurts can't do. Where in the world did you read anything on what a prototype West Coast in the past or modern that makes you think he's going to be successful? Warren Moon's not a West Coast passing offensive guy. He never ran. Warren Moon was a spread. Yeah, okay, a little bit. I say that. He was spread. Okay? Here. I'm a joke. Okay, let's see why. Keep on being, I'm not being biased. I'm telling you what you want to have. Dude, name calling is not going to change the fact of reality. That has no bearing on anything we're talking about. You're just a Jalenite. That's okay. And I don't mind it. Believe me. This doesn't upset me. You know why? Because you're not really thinking. You've got a different agenda. This is more something else with you or something. I don't know. There's something there that puts you in this place that you're protecting someone. At the end of the day, who gives a fuck who your quarterback is? Don't you want to win? Seals, what offense did Brady run in New England versus Tampa? It was checkdowns. It was West Coast. It was a spread, but remember, they had an intermediate passing game. Brady was the check down king. Remember what Bruce Arians, the big rub with Bruce Arians was, remember? No risk it, no biscuit. Brady never played that way. That's not his style of play. No risk it, no biscuit. Okay? Here, check this out. Tom Brady, first 5 years, Tom Brady was not a fucking RPO guy. They won with defense and they ran the ball. That guy he's worse than LJ. It's probably his brother. Bro, you're dumb. Sills, wouldn't they use West Coast until they hit the red zone, then implement their own plays? Listen, again, I personally think this. It's going to be interesting to see how much of the system that they're going to put in. They've made a complete overhaul. They've overhauled the defense, the offense. And they're going to overhaul the personnel coming up in the next 2 years. Why would you change just the coaching staff? So wait a minute. You're going to hire 5 new dudes. Let's see. O-line coach, passing coordinator, run coordinator, quarterback coach, and OC. 5 guys that are all on the same page. And the football team has been running something different for 6 years. And you think the coaching staff is going to change? Dude, the coaching staff is being brought in to change the offense. If you're going to change the offense, you're changing the personnel too. You are changing the personnel. All these problems go away if Jalen just runs more. That is true. Intern Sirianni, I want to give you credit for right here. If they came in and started wanting to have Jalen run more, like expanding his game from 22, I'll have a different tone. But they're not. I love how people keep saying Jalen is a winner, but can never say he's great. Listen, wait a second. Jalen does something that Sam Darnold did. Sam Darnold didn't have to be great Sunday. Don't turn the ball over, run the ball, be effective on third down. They were 6 of 15. He didn't have to be special. The perfect Jalen Hurts team, right? He wasn't special Sunday. He didn't have to be. They played lights out defense. They ran the ball. They didn't turn the ball over, and they won. They won Eagle Way, or the old Eagle Way, right? I mean, Sam Darnold wasn't special. He didn't have to be. Not like the NFC title game. He threw for over 340 in that game, 3 touchdowns. They didn't need him to do that. Okay. Well, if the offense is going through AJ and Smitty, that means they're going to throw the football. That means they're going to spread it around. Well, Martin, you just can't be that predictable then from the pocket. You have to be more disciplined in the pocket, which he's not. He gets enough time. The offensive line was 7th in pass protection. Pass protection is not, a problem in Philly. Run blocking was. Which means what? Okay? They're hoping the offensive line can adapt to this system. Because why? That's where all the money is. Hurts is Marino. There does that make some of you guys feel better? If they go with an increased passing load, he fails them what? That's exactly what's going to happen. Every single time that they've upped his passing, he's failed. He's failed. Here, just like we did. Okay? Here. Again, he doesn't even fit the identity of what a West Coast guy is. And I brought this up to you, and this is the last time I'm going to do it again. When you increased his numbers and his volume of passing, explain this away to me then. Okay? I want you to explain this away. Okay, let's see here. 15 turnovers and 17 ball games. That's 15 INTs. Now you add in his 9 fumbles that he had that year. He had 24 turnovers in 17 games. Then you add the 8 he had in the first 4. He had 32 turnovers in 21 games when they upped his volume in passing. Where in God's name do you see success with 32 turnovers in 21 games? Based on what? And this is what they're going to do? I really don't understand it. Okay? Okay, what are you talking about? I just told you. And he also had in 2022, let's see, 2022, he also had in 22, 780 yards rushing. Okay? Add that to it too. Don't forget, they were running RPO. And when he was, how many attempts did he have? He had 142 attempts that season. And it was the most, he was averaging 62 yards a game rushing. Do you know that if he would have played the final 2 games, he would have had 1,000 yards rushing? So take that out of the mix. He was on pace for a grand rushing. Last year, he had 400 yards. He had half that number. You keep missing the 800 yards. 2022 was Hurts' ceiling. Yes. When it's perfect around him, when they have the RPO in it and he's running, hey, guess what? Maybe they add that dynamic. How old is he now? When will his birthday be? When will he be 28? When will Hurts be 28? Let's see, Jalen Hurts. When will he be 28? In August, he'll be 28. Okay, for the start of the season, he'll be 28 years old. I doubt he's going to start running again. Out of those 5 coaches, Stout was the only constant. The rest are relatively new coaches. So I don't think there's that as big a factor as you think, Sills. David, these guys don't coach the way you've played for 5 years. What are you not getting about that? The things that when you hire an offensive line coach, you want him to fit the personnel you have, don't you? Here, let's take a look at Green Bay. By the way, the offensive line you hired, the guy, he failed in Minnesota. Let's see. By the way, I think you just hired him because there was no one else. No one else wanted him. Packers were 15th in total offense. They were 17th in passing. They were 15th in rushing. Shit, looks like Kevin Patullo's offense. I mean, they look like the guys that you've hired from Green Bay. What made their offense better? I'm missing it. So maybe they're changing this offense so Hurts is forced to run RPOs. I don't think that's how that's going to work. RPO and better West Coast ideas, more checkdowns. So for the first time in his career, he's going to go to checkdowns. That might happen. That just might happen. Okay? I still don't understand the no trade clause. That's called having a brilliant agent like Nicole Lynn and Clutch Sports putting that in there. Dude, why in God's name would you give a no trade to a dual threat guy who could be hurt at any moment and plus a $50 million deal? I mean, you put yourself, if that guy has a catastrophic injury, you're in a bind because he could sit there for the entire remainder of the contract and collect the money. Or if you release him, cap hit, and he's at home making that money because it's guaranteed. Yeah, maybe. Seals, can you name a quarterback who has high pass attempts and low interceptions? You think 32 turnovers in 21 games? You think that's not high? 32 turnovers in 21 football games. 24 football games. No, 21 games. You don't think 32 turnovers is high? Above normal. Yeah, if you're throwing the ball 600 times a game, 560 times, and you've got 12 turnovers and 12 interceptions, yeah, that's acceptable. Absolutely, that's acceptable. 32 turnovers in 24 games, 21 games, that's not acceptable. I mean, that's a high clip, dude. Jalen, thank you for the ring at 24. In your prime, if you want an extension, you need to run. If not, go back to Houston. You'll be okay. Again, this conversation is, would you extend Jalen Hurts right now? Tanner McKee is better suited for this new offense. We can't evolve on offense. Hurts has to be the question mark. Let's see here, my friend. I thought I read that to you there, Mr. Hill. Yeah, I read that. Yeah, I read that, brother. Yeah. We shall see later this season. Yes. Right. February 10th. I'm just telling you the changes that you have made are crazy. I really don't get it. Dude, let me say this to you. Okay? Khalid, I did. I went back and looked. I learned how to scroll. Yeah, I've got them all. Yes. Here, what was that? Let me see that. I mean, yeah. So again, this came up with because Rhea Hughes was talking, I guess, on WIP today, and I started getting some people texting me going, Sills, they're talking extending Jalen Hurts. And I'm like, are you crazy? They just changed the entire coaching staff. You don't extend quarterbacks when you change everybody out. Personnel's being changed. That's coming next. Now, do I think Jalen Hurts is being changed out? No, I don't. No, I don't. But I think people like AJ Lane, Barkley doesn't fit. Jalen running is what makes him decent. Jalen running is what makes him special. How many times did we see this year when he took off and extended series and all that? He's still great at that. That's right. Well, they're not going to franchise. I got the dates here and the days. Combines are in 120 days. Excuse me. Combines are in 12 days. The combines are they're at the 22nd. So in 12 days, the NFL combines in Indianapolis start. In 29 days, free agency starts. In 72 days is the draft. There's your NFL calendar. Okay? There's your calendar. And you got a lot of decisions to be made, especially with all this is a ton of changes. Lori and Howie are putting Hurts in a sink or swim here. Mediocrity isn't enough anymore. They want to change to see. I agree. They want to challenge him to see if they should extend him. I think that's a great take. I do. They're going to evolve the offense. And if he can adapt and evolve the offense, he gets his extension. Yes. By the way, they might extend him during the year if they see he's adapting to it. Before he gets into the end of the season, they might extend him. Like during the season. They're not in any hurry, but I mean, right now, I think he's in that position. Arch got better by the end of the year. Beat A&M, Won the SEC Player of the Week a couple times at the end of the season. If he were to go in this draft right now, he'd be the number one pick over Fernando Mendoza. I think. The reason he's going back to Austin is because he wants to have a better year. That really stinks that the radio station won't let Rhea come on. She's awesome. She loves the Phillies. Rhea watches. And by the way, Angelo told me this, and so did Rhea. Really have a great time going back and forth with the folks. A lot of the folks want to come on. Hugh wants to come on. Hugh Douglas wants to come on. He can't. Because Bob Lang stops him. Because again, as Xander knows, we have a propensity to put people in a corner, I guess, when we ask questions. Jalen is more effective when he runs for 80 yards than throws for 20, 200. Yes. Actually, I think 45 yards makes him effective. Dude, anything over 35 yards for Jalen Hurts, he's What did Wink Martindale tell you guys? And what did he tell Jalen after the 23 season? We knew you stopped running. Once you stopped running, you weren't the same guy. Adam Kaplan's coming on tomorrow at 5:30. Sills, losing Stout isn't smart, but the rest of those coaches they fired didn't have experience coaching a guy like Jalen Hurts either. These new hires aren't a change, just more of the same. No, they're not the same. They're not the same guys. They're not run guys. They're not going to start with the run. They're going to start with the pass. No, they're not the same. They may be same in experience. Listen, I can't believe you guys. Do you think every coordinator is the same? That means you would have the impression that every coordinator wins games the same way. Like, do you think Cliff Kingsbury is a different offensive coordinator than Clint Kubiak? Now, some guys are like Ben. By the way, do you think Ben Johnson's going to continue to win with Caleb Williams? If Caleb Williams doesn't improve his completion percentage, they're going to fire his ass too. You can't win games completing 54% of your passes and think you're going to win 12, 13, 14 games in a Super Bowl with Hail Marys. What was Caleb Williams this last year in completion percentage? Don't replace his ass. Let's see what he did in Chicago. Caleb Williams. He was 52% in the playoffs. And he was 58% in the regular season. You're not going to win consistently with those 50-50 footballs on easy passes. Never happened. Not in the NFL. He's a short-termer too. If he doesn't get that up to 68, 67%, he's a short-timer. Or they're going to have to create an offense that he's running a lot. That guy stops running. Excuse me. If Caleb Williams stops running, he's finished. 56%. That's where Jalen has him. Jalen's in the mid-60s. Jalen gets away because he's more accurate. Caleb Williams hanging around 58%, 52% in the playoffs. Not fucking winning games. But still, he's got great arm talent. Yeah, you got to be accurate. You got to hit guys. You got to hit guys in stride, don't you? He's got great ability, okay? How accurate is he? He's not. Oh, shit. He's got great arm talent, but he's not accurate. Well, shit, does he have good arms? Wait a minute. You're telling me he's got great arm skill, and yet he's not he's not accurate. How the hell can he be accurate? What if? What do you mean, what if? He's not accurate. What if? 52%. What if? I meant they're the same. If they don't have experience coaching dual threat guys. Correct. That's one thing in common. Your new coaching staff has no experience coaching dual threats. This time it's everyone. At least Stoutland did. Jeff Stoutland did. He had experience. By the way, these two topics are the topic of conversations right now in Philly. Extending Hurts and the complete rebuild of the offense. How far are they going to go, you think? This is going to be personnel too, right? They're going to change the personnel. You're not just changing the coaching staff. These are guys, not one of these coaches that you've hired. Let me think. Let's see the new coaches. New Eagle coaches. Chris Cooper. Chris Cooper tried to coach a dual threat offensive line for J.J. McCarthy. How'd that work out? Guy lost his gig. Let's see. Run game coordinator. Ryan Mahaffey, Green Bay. He's actually a tight end coach. Okay? I mean, you're not going to have Goddard back. Pass game coordinator, Josh Grizzard. Okay? Got fired in Tampa. By the way, you want to know the conversation on why he was fired in Tampa? He was fired in Tampa because Todd Bowles didn't like the fact that he didn't call more run plays. You think he's going to call run plays in Philadelphia? He's not calling run plays in Philly. They're going to throw the ball in Philly. Wait here. I'm not shitting on these guys yet. I'm not shitting on these guys either. I'm telling you who they are. If me telling you who they are sounds like I'm shitting on them, well, then that's an indictment on their resume, not me. Shitting on them. Well, here, he thinks I'm shitting on this. Offensive line, Chris Cooper lost his job because he was an ineffective offensive line coach because they didn't redo his contract in Minnesota. They had one of the worst offensive lines this year in pro football. The run game coordinator, Ryan Mahaffey, has never been a run game coordinator. Josh Grizzard got fired in Tampa because of the inability to run the football. And Sean Mannion's been a coach for 25 months. If that sounds like shitting on somebody, instead of just telling you who they are, I really can't help you. It's shitting on anybody. Now, this is key too. Yale, that's the next step in seeing what Howie does. What Nick has done is hired. Again, what's crazy is, you know who the offensive coordinator looks like to me? Nick Sirianni. Like the offensive coordinator, Nick Sirianni. That's what it totally looks like to me. Because all these guys are just like so young coaches. They may turn out to be the best coaches that the Eagles have ever seen. And this guy, Chris Cooper, might turn out to be the next Jeff Stoutland. Okay? But you're doing that with Sean Mannion. You're doing that with Josh Grizzard. You're doing that with Chris Cooper. And you're doing that with Ryan Mahaffey. You're hoping all 5 of these guys turn out to be fucking elite guys. How many times have you ever seen that in a coaching staff? When you make 5 hires, they turn out to be the next coming of Jeff Stoutland or Vic Fangio. How many times have you ever seen that? Especially with the history in Philly of firing assistant coaches. Like I said, what I'm doing today is I'm trying to figure out what you're doing and why. Here. Yes, because any of the experienced offensive coordinators like Mike McDaniels didn't want this job because they were not going to make or take a back seat to Sirianni. Now, I think Nick's got a lot to do with this. This is an about face. Okay? This is an about face. An approach completely. Cincinnati has the worst cap, and I just don't think it's ever going to happen. It's not, because of Duke Tobin's not a bad personnel guy. It's Mike Brown. The quarterback deserves better. Hey, Sam Darnold shows you that. These quarterbacks like Josh Allen and Joe Burrow and some of these other guys, it's just about the shitty organizations that they play in. You're damn right. Brandon Beane. Okay, wait a minute. So the Buffalo Bills have a generational player in Josh Allen. And the Seattle Seahawks win a Super Bowl with a journeyman quarterback. Figure it out. I mean, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. Right? I mean, listen, you're not going after Linderbaum, Edward. You're not going down that lane. You just gave this guy a 3-year, $20 million contract. That's not happening. I mean, the cap hit alone. Dude, the cap hit on Cam Jurgens might be higher than A.J. Brown. Can you imagine what Josh Allen or Joe Burrow would do with the weapons on this team? With the new coaching staff, probably, get this, if you had Josh Allen on the Eagles, just, again, I get it, spitballing here. With this new approach, yeah, be a grand slam. AJ's not going anywhere. I'm sorry. I don't believe the QB can do it. Guy blows his back out, needs surgery. Here's a contract extension. Hey, Xander and I did say that this offseason. Dude, it wasn't like a knee injury or like an ankle injury. You know, you tear a bicep or some shit like that. Some shoulder injury. This thing's like dude, backs are wild. And there's no given that you come back from that shit. Jills, my point about the new coaches is, how is it a big change? Because they're different coaches than the coaches you had. If both old and new coaches don't have any experience in dual threat, no. These new coaches are West Coast spread guys. The other guys are run-dominant coaches. Yeah, okay, look, the similarities are most of the coaches didn't have experience a year ago. Coaches don't have experience this year. One's a helicopter pilot. The other one's a airline pilot. You've hired helicopter pilots for an airplane. They're different. Do you think all coaching staffs are the same? Like when you hire Why do you think Mike McDaniel? Everyone says that you didn't hire Mike McDaniel. Why? Because he didn't want to work with Nick, or because he didn't like the style of play? What do you think attracts more offensive coordinators? What do you think? What do you think attracts more? What, a spread or run dominant team? What do you think? By the way, your football team has content every single day. This is things you're debating in your city right now. Balanced? You haven't been balanced in 2 years. Shit, the offseason is going to be more interesting than the regular season. God, the offseason is long. It's so depressed. Well, wait. No. What you got to figure out right now is this. What's Howie going to do next? Okay? What's Howie going to do? Howie better sign an elite punter for all that. I don't think your punting is all that bad. In regards to Juergens, Ross Tucker had exact surgery. He said it takes a full year to recover. Let's hope. Okay? Agreed. I think that's what the Eagles are hoping. Xander, give me a thumbs up when you're ready, bro. All right. I think the content's been spectacular. I think some of you are having a really difficult time understanding what the Eagles are doing. Now, look, I'm not really getting it either. Okay? Just to be fair here. Okay? I'm not really getting it. Because when you're 50-8 and you won 2 Super Bowls, okay? I mean, I get where you're coming from. All right. So, hey, listen. I thought it was interesting that Jason Cole said that he wouldn't extend Hurts. So we're going to start off with that conversation, and then we're going to go into Howie Roseman, and we're going to go into the direction. I know Big Z gets it, but that doesn't mean he agrees with what we're saying here. So let's go to our friend Big Z, Xander Kraus, right now here as we bring him in here. Big Z, how you doing, bro?
What's up, Sills? How you doing, my man?
Should you extend Jalen Hurts?
I think it'll probably come next year this time, assuming he has a good year. I thought originally it would be this summer, but I don't think it'll be this summer now. I think they're going to stand pat and see what happens with this new offense. I think next summer makes more sense. But if they pay him this summer, I'll be pretty surprised. But it would show you that my comments about Jeffrey Lurie's thoughts on Jalen Hurts were accurate.
And just to tell everybody what those are, tell them again.
Well, I just said I'm of the belief that Jeffrey Lurie really likes Jalen Hurts, and I think he should. I mean, Jalen's a great representation of the organization. I mean, he does everything right. I mean, he really does. He's a good face of the organization. That doesn't always speak for the football stuff, but overall, he's won a lot, and I think Jeffrey Lurie would blow out everybody before he would blow out Jalen Hurts. That's
they
my
theoretically just did that on offense,
right?
Except the coach,
and the coach would be next. He'll do the coach. In a way, he bought himself another rebuild, for Jalen by not moving on from the coach. Because if you move on from the coach now, all right, the next person on the clock, if it doesn't work, would be the quarterback. Now you still have Nick on the clock.
Do you believe they're rebuilding on offense?
Well, I mean, they're clearly rebuilding the playbook.
Okay.
I don't think they're rebuilding the players. I did think your point was well taken by me earlier, where if they're rebuilding this entire coaching staff, to assume that they're not going to make any personnel changes would probably be foolish.
Correct. These guys are completely different. Do you not agree that they brought
100%.
in than the guys that you had there before, right?
100%. Yep. Way different.
Okay. So you're changing and revamping the entire offense, basically, for a quarterback who's never done this. And they're under the assumption he can do this, right?
That's what I'm thinking, Sills.
Okay. I want to read you, and I want to read it to you. By the way, we're going to do our year end with the football team as well here. I want to show you something, Xander. Okay?
Okay, I'm
And
listening.
West Coast QB, and I want to show you. You tell me if you think Jalen Hurts fits this.
This is what we talked about on Friday.
This is the West Coast offense for a quarterback. Traditionally, is defined by high percentage, quick decision making, and exceptional processing. Does your quarterback exude any of those?
That's not particularly his strength. No, I wouldn't say that. I think he can do it, but consistently, no, that's not what he's been doing.
Elite of accuracy and timing, high completion percentage, timing-based passing. Quarterback must drop back and release the ball. This is the definition of a West Coast guy. I'm going to ask you something after this, though, here at specific times, often 3-step to 5-step. Throwing to wide open receivers with anticipation on route cuts. Does none of this. Quick processing, check down ability. I've never seen a check down in the history of the Eagles offense passing. Mastery of footwork. Not the best. So my question then comes back, okay, if that's the definition, maybe he's not all that. How much do you think they are going to change to a modern day West Coast? Because listen,
that's the big question. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what I don't think is a question is whether the Eagles players fit inside the textbook definitions of a West Coast player. And that goes for every position almost. I mean, that goes for wide receivers. It goes for the running back, Saquon Barkley. I think he's the biggest bad fit. The offensive line's not a great fit for that style. I mean, you go from mauling to kind of a finesse style. It's much different. And then the quarterback as well. My question, Sills, is I think we all believe that they are changing. My question is, what exactly does that mean? Does that mean we have now become the other coaches where you don't change to your players, you pick a system and you force players to fit inside it? Is that what we're becoming? I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much. Like if Nick is here and the West Coast is here, are they in the middle?
I don't know what they're doing.
Slanted toward Nick? Are they it's very hard to tell.
What does John say about this?
John says he thinks it's going to be in the middle. I asked him this question this morning about, is it West Coast then, or is it not? He put right in the middle.
So does he think it's going to be a big change?
I mean, dude, if they got rid of Jeff Stoutland, you would think it has to be pretty big.
I think it's seismic.
I mean, it can't be small. I mean, if it's small, why are we getting rid of Jeff Stoutland?
Right. All right. Makes no sense. Do you think they're panicking?
I don't know if they're panicking, dude, because I think the fact of the matter is, as good as the owner is, the owner will fire Nick. And I know a lot of people like to hear that, but if you are as successful in your job, anybody listening, as Nick has been in his, and you got fired, you'd probably be filing a wrongful termination.
Have you ever heard me say fire Nick Sirianni?
No, but let's not act like you're a fucking Nick Sirianni cheerleader.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of constant change like that. That doesn't win. It doesn't win. Okay. I've never in my entire life, like you said, I'm not a fan of the guy, but I've never said fire the guy.
He's been successful.
That's right.
I honestly believe that he thinks that he's going to get cooked if he doesn't, even if it doesn't work. I think he's going to have to show some offensive evolution. I mean, think about it. This year was enough for them to blow up everything but Nick. They were 11-6, and really the only bad part of the team was that they struggled offensively. So if you go 11-6, you win your division, but you don't win a playoff game, and that's enough to blow up the offense to the point that they've blown it up. Well, Nick is like, my only way out is to show offensive improvement. It's not win 11 games again, which is a pretty damn good record. It's not win the division again. That doesn't matter.
Well, if you want to go with what Seattle's done the last 2 years, you're 25-9 and 3-1 in the playoffs last 2 years with a Super Bowl win.
And so
that don't sound awful to me.
The Eagles are probably the same exact record.
Yeah.
The Eagles are 4-1 in the playoffs.
That doesn't sound bad to me, bro.
I'm aware of this, dude. This is
And
why
why
I
you
know,
change-
and
why are
I
you
kind of kick
changing
myself.
so much? Then why are you changing so much?
Well, I kind of kick myself at times because I'm like, boy, I called for a lot of offensive change during the year. And I struggle with this because now that I see the change, it's like, one, were we wrong to want to change? But I also can't like lie to myself. Like the offense did suck. Like, was I lying? Like when you see something that sucks in any area of your life, do you choose to just let it sit there and eat you? Or do you try and address it? The question is like, how do you address it? And maybe I think the way they're addressing it is wrong, but I can't just forget how bad the offense was.
Okay.
So now that they made the changes, it's like,
is there too many changes too abruptly? You're not just changing a run game guy out. Guess what? You're changing the run game, the pass game, the quarterback coach, the O-line coach, the tight end coach. Is there too many changes, Xander? All at once.
I mean, there's a lot. I would say this about the changes, and it hasn't got me to this point yet, but I'm close. I'm close to saying that the Eagles could make great improvements next year, and they're still not winning the Super Bowl. That's how many changes I think they've made. Because eventually you're going to get to a tipping point where you have so many changes. It's statistically freaking impossible to win, with that setup. Like my boy Caleb always joined the post-game show. He used to say, I don't like the Xander. No Super Bowl champion with a first-time play caller. Never happens. And I'm like, you're right, but let's see, So certain times, certain things stack up. Like you look at how much turnover on this offensive staff, eventually you're going to be like, we could have a good year next year. Like we could show a lot of good things, but to say that we're going to be Super Bowl ready is kind of a big test. Not impossible though. Not impossible.
With that schedule,
that would be one for him, I mean.
With that schedule, pretty challenging.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's
pretty
a lot.
challenging with.
But again, this is why I think Jeffrey Lurie has something to do with this because I think he broke Nick. I think Nick went into this offseason no longer with I need to be a good football team. I need to win games. More to I need to fix the offense. Even if that means we're the Dallas Cowboys next year and we have an 8-9 team, but our offense is humming. I bet you that would save his job more than another 11-6 season would.
I agree. And by the way,
and I think that's the bet he made, assuming it's Nick that made it.
Okay. Would you take a step backwards to take 4 steps forward in 3 years?
You would, in theory, but find me an area of life where you take 1 step back and the 3 steps forward are.
What you just said. Jalen Hurts.
Well, no, I think that's a phrase that people use, and it's easy to justify the step back when you say, well, we're going to take 3 steps forward. You have to actually take the steps forward. And we haven't seen the steps forward to be able to say they're taking the step back to take the step forward. What if it fucking fails? And then Nick is blown out and Jalen is blown out. Well, now we're really restarting. So the steps forward would have to come before I can opine on whether the 3 steps forward approach is the right thing to do.
If the quarterback fails and doesn't play well in these new changes, you're under the impression that cost Nick his job, right?
I think it'd be Nick first. I do. Now, if it looks really bad, I mean.
Well, then why make all these changes then with all these coaches for 6 months?
Because they gave Nick the ability to try and fix it.
So you think they switched a little bit and said, all right, Nick.
No, I think they
chips are
put
all
Nick
in.
on an island.
It's like, Nick, all chips in on you.
If you're on a boat and you got a bunch of stuff strapped to your boat, all right, whenever you go, the things strapped to your boat have an impact on your boat, whether it's clicking on the side, splashing in the waves. If you remove it from the boat and you leave it out on the own, your boat can now move freely of that item. That's not the greatest analogy, but Nick, I think they put on an island. They no longer want to, because it's hard to fire Nick. Owners, one, especially Jeffrey Lurie, cares about his reputation. Two, coaching in the NFL is kind of a little clique, just like the players are a clique and the owners are a clique. Coaches are a clique.
This is bad.
You can't, dude, firing Nick does not look good.
Dude, putting a guy on an island that's 50 and 18? That's fucking stupid.
Dude, it could work.
That's stupid looking in itself.
If it works, though, then what?
Then Lurie goes
in a way, it's not that unfair. Isn't it? Wait. Because I'll criticize Lurie for getting to this point, but I won't criticize putting him on an island for this reason. I'm of the belief that when you hire a head coach, he should be on an island to begin with. And it's his freaking island. He's either going to make it successful or he's not.
Okay. So
I don't really believe in this whole approach of like 10 million guys have a say in the process and there's 442 interns that had data and analytics. Like, I need to, like you say about what Jimmy ran. It was Jimmy's ship. Jimmy steered the ship. If the ship hit an iceberg, Jimmy said, I steered the ship into the iceberg. Nick is now in that moment. So he can have great success. They've given him the opportunity to have great success. If he does it, he'll be rewarded. He won't be fired. Everybody will be talking about him as a genius to make the switch and to go on and have success. But if it fails, then he's got to hold that too.
This is how Jimmy did it, man. Jimmy went like this. My position coaches, I have my personnel guys. He was the guy in the middle. And you know what he told the guys? Personnel guys, you and me are working to get the best players for these particular guys. You know what he would do on Sundays, Xander? Nothing. He only controlled the timeouts and the clock. Monday came, woo, coaches in my office. They went on this noon run. You fucking sucked. You didn't get the best out of your guys. Then he would go talk to the players. And everybody was on eggshells with that guy. You were on a sense of urgency the way he ran. However, in game, he never said nothing to anybody. He would sit there. He would get you. His best coaching was Monday through Saturday. Sundays, he took the day off. He goes, what can I do on Sundays? This is the coaches and the players. But he reamed these guys. Coaches were so – it's a reason why you had the same coaching staff, Xander, at Miami and in Dallas. Yeah. And in Miami with the Dolphins.
I get it.
It's the same guys. He didn't have all these massive changes in coaching staffs. He didn't believe in any of that.
Well, look, Sirianni has alienated me a little bit with the move on Stalland. I think that was where, I kind of was like, oof, all right, now I think we're going too far here. But I will say this, all right, and I'm going to go back into defending Nick again because I've been repping him, and I was the defender of Nick before, and I'm going to go back to defending him because I see too much dumb stuff, Sills. And I'm sorry, but I think sometimes you perpetuate it, and I don't even think you really believe it. I really don't. Like, I see someone comment. Let me find the comment I'm about to talk about here. Let's not act like all those wins are Nick. He doesn't call plays on offense or defense. Gets carried by a super team. He has no answers. Do people really believe that Nick Sirianni, as the head coach of a football franchise, doesn't do anything outside of manage the clock? I mean, really? I know you don't even believe that.
Oh, I think he's George Seifert. I think Seifert went for the ride.
Dude, it's a big job, dude.
Yeah,
There's
but
a lot of shit that goes into that
what's
job.
His job then? What's his job? What do you think? Give me Nick Sirianni's definition of head coach in Philly.
Man, I'm thinking about the all-encapsulating job description of
okay,
head
what
coach.
is that?
It's everything.
It's
He's got to do press 4 times a week. He's got to manage personalities of every single player. He's got to have meetings with the owner, meetings with the GM, meetings with everybody. He's got to coordinate with all his coaching staff. He's got to set the practices in motion. He's got to do he's the head coach of the team.
Okay,
Does
let
he
me
not
show
have
you.
to do other things?
Here's my definition of a coach. A coach hires his own personnel. A coach hires his own staff. His coach has a way of winning on defense and has a style on offense and has complete autonomy in those decisions. And his coaches have complete autonomy in decisions that they're going to be held accountable for. That's my definition of a coach. That's a Hall of Fame coach to me. That's a guy sitting there talking to me about fucking setting schedules up and being able to talk to
but Sills, that's not the NFL that we live in today.
Do you think Bill Belichick was great behind the mic at a press conference?
Well, good luck finding that. If you could cover the Eagles until for the next 50 years, you won't find one coach that's got that set up in Philly, dude.
I could tell you this: that guy in Seattle has that set up. John Schneider said, I'm in the offseason.
Well, then you're mad at the wrong guy, dude.
I'm not mad at Nick. I know what Nick is. Listen, I never really.
So you're under the belief that there's no circumstance that exists right now that Nick is actually a good coach.
Because to me, every time that you guys need an answer, how about this, Xander? Every time you need an answer, he doesn't have one. I mean, he doesn't have an answer. You needed an answer in the 49er game. You didn't have one.
I mean, I hear you, but did he have answers last year? Did he have answers in 22?
I'm not sure he had answers. Howie did. Howie had Barkley.
Oh, dude, come on.
Oh,
dude.
really? So you really think that Nick Sirianni was the reason that you won?
You're a guy who wore the pad. You're going to say the dude in the suit upstairs?
You brought 3 dudes in last year. You brought in Becton, Bond, and Barkley. You're telling me those 3 guys weren't the difference in the Super Bowl?
They were the difference. But to say that Nick Sirianni doesn't deserve any credit for coaching up that football team is insane to me.
It's not insane to me because we
will Howie from upstairs.
What happened in 23 when it melted down then? Where was his answers then?
Howie's been here for 12 years. Where is his Super Bowl teams and all the other fucking years?
Hey, we're talking about the coach. What was the coach's response in the meltdown in 23? Nothing.
Yeah, but you're pointing out the bad moments.
Okay, let's do it this year then.
No, bullshit, because when you point out bad moments, it's all on Nick. But when the good moments come,
it's
right.
Howie. That's because he wins in spite of the personnel. The personnel is what's winning games. When the personnel wasn't as good this year, they failed. Did they not? They couldn't run the ball because why? Injuries. They failed.
All right, I'm fine with your difference of opinion. The only thing I cannot get you to say is if you're putting all of the bad on Nick when they collapse in 23 or they don't reach expectations in 25, you cannot conveniently take away the years they were successful. That is not a logical way to analyze.
Why is it so up and down then? Tell me why is it so up and down?
That's part of his responsibility. I agree with that. But does he get credit for the good? If you're giving him credit for the good and taking away from the bad, all right.
I'm not giving him credit for the good. I'm not in any way. I'm not and
That's what I mean.
I'm
so
not
the
really
23 collapse.
Wait a minute. I'm not really giving him credit.
Man, that's so inconsistent.
Let me fit.
Sorry, go ahead.
So is his career.
I know.
His career's inconsistent.
Sorry, go ahead. I'll stop cutting you off.
No. His career, dude, the internet, I can't believe it. Listen, I say this. I go, look, I don't give him credit for the wins, and I don't really get on his shit for the losses. I just know what he is. He is a great, John McMullen says it perfect. He is the perfect coach in Philadelphia because he knows how to play the office politics. Do you think Nick Sirianni fought for Jeff Stoutland?
No, I don't.
Okay. So is it Nick's fault? Wait a minute. Stoutland's fault? The offense then failed?
No, I think Nick wanted to do this new offensive stuff.
Okay. So Kevin Patullo's still in the building. And Stoutland's not.
He's not going to be in the building. There's no way. Dude, they can't trot that guy back out into the field. I just don't get you and all your fucking Sileo-ites in the chat. Nick gets every blame for everything bad, but anything good in the Nick era, he gets no credit. It's the players and it's Howie. But when they collapse, it's not the players and Howie. It's actually Nick. I mean, it doesn't even make sense. 2 + 2 = 4. Not here. 2 + 2 = 6. I mean, come on, guys.
All right, see? Who's the first to go on offense? Personnel-wise.
Personnel-wise?
I got one.
Is it Lane Johnson?
Dude, before we get to Lane, by the way, Supers will take him. Please hit the like button. What do you make of Barkley? What do you think his future is?
Oh, God.
What do you think his
future? It's going to be
future?
a brutal offseason for me, folks. It's going to be an absolute brutal offseason.
Oh, my God. Hey, what do you make of Barkley's position? Do you believe? Don't you think you need a guy like Alvin Kamara, like a player with that type of skill set?
Barkley's a terrible fit. He's a terrible fit. If they're really going to run now, again, here we go. Back to speculating on what they're going to do. I don't know yet what they're going to do. Are they going to do full West Coast, halfway, quarter way?
Yeah.
Who knows? If they're going even anywhere close to full West Coast, he's like the opposite of what you would want in your running back. Unfortunately, he's a great player, but he is a power back. He is not a guy that you want catching balls out of the backfield, setting protections and blocking people. I mean, it's not a great fit, Sills, with Barkley in the projected offense.
Kenny Gainwell is a free agent.
Is he? He signed a 1-year deal. That's it. I thought he got a 2-year deal.
Nope. Doesn't he fit now what they want to do? How about Barkley and him? Somebody like that? Hey, I'm just trying to figure this out here because I'm with John. I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Where you're right is this much change in the coaching staff means that there must be change on the personnel.
Yeah. Okay, here it is right here. NFL Insider Mark Cablo projected running back Kenny Gainwell not to sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers in 26 free agency. They love Gainwell. Bring that guy back. Put him in the backfield there with Barkley.
Why would Gainwell come back here? We didn't even offer him $1 million too.
Because they're going to change to fit his skill.
Yeah, but he's not going to want to come back here. I don't think he liked it here.
I don't think he liked the quarterback.
I don't think it has anything to do with that. Oh, wait, let me guess. It's Sileo, the quarterback and the head coach. That's who Gainwell did right. Let me guess, Prince. Let me guess, Abe. It's Nick Sirianni that Kenny Gainwell doesn't right. I mean, Nick Sirianni is going to be responsible for everything, soon.
He's the head coach, isn't he? He's the head coach, isn't he?
Huh? I'm losing my damn mind here. I don't even like Nick, and I find myself defending the guy because everybody's dumb.
All right, ready? Here, Lane Johnson's year last year was what?
Hurt.
Give me a grade. Give me a grade.
Oh, come on. I'm not docking a Hall of Fame legend in Philly because he was injured. In the games he played, he was a B+. In the game that he missed, he was an F. He didn't play. But get out of here with that. I'm not docking Lane Johnson for missing games with a foot problem. He's 35 years old. Guy's going to the Hall of Fame. One of the best Eagles of all time.
Big Sills is not afraid to face Nolan Ryan. I'll take the swings at it.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give him a C.
1, 2, 3, you're out, my guy.
Tyler Steen's year. But you know what? In this new system, I bet this fits his skill set a lot better.
It might.
It might fit here. What do you think of your boy, Soft Steen?
Soft Steen, you called him. That's messed up. C+.
I agree.
You passed, guy.
I agree. First year starting. Would you not agree he's been the lesser of the right guards since the Hurts era? Sayamalo, Cam, Becton, right? It's tough to follow. Those guys were all really good. All right. Cam Jurgens.
Cam Jurgens, D. He was horrible.
Horrible.
You could actually give him an F. I wouldn't contest.
Yeah.
If I was the professor of a class, which I'd never be, I'd drop an F on his table.
Hey, dude, don't even fill out the blue book. It don't matter.
Dude, there's no like extra credit you can do.
No,
class.
no,
Like,
you're
you're out. You're retaking the class.
Yeah. No summer school for your ass.
Yeah, fuck that.
All right. Landon Dickerson.
D. He was mediocre at best. He was less than mediocre.
So Xander's got incomplete on Lane. He's got a C+ on Tyler. He's got an F on Cam, or D, whatever. He's got a D on Landon. What about Mulata?
B+. I thought Mulata was actually good.
Yeah, I did too. I have no problem with him. Dallas Goedert.
Dallas Goedert?
Yep.
I go B+. Nah, go B. Go B. He didn't do anything else but catch a 4-yard shuffle pass a bunch of times. I mean, I know he had a lot of touchdowns, but he wasn't really the most productive. He sucked in the blocking game.
He did this year, man.
Yeah,
he's C+.
Yeah, so what I say, B?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think C+ is better.
Yeah. How about Devontae?
Underwhelmed. Sorry, Devontae. Love your brother.
B?
I don't think it's his fault, but no, C+.
C+.
I had big visions for Devontae Smith. I had grandiose visions of him becoming one of the premier receivers in football. I don't believe he's even broached close to that level. So I know my grading scale might be off or different than yours if you're listening, but I really thought Devontae Smith was going to take his Heisman season and become an NFL superstar. He has not done that yet.
Don't you think it's harder for him to become an NFL superstar in the 2-hole?
Yeah, and with this offense, no doubt. No doubt.
A.J. Brown.
I'd say C+ too, but the drops in the final game have to knock him down to probably a C. And you could maybe make an argument to all the bullshit conversation, which I didn't care about at the time. But maybe that's good for a knocking as well, to knock him down to a C-.
Man, that's a poor season for a guy like this. What about Saquon Barkley?
C.
Okay. It's pretty bad.
It's a C season, dude.
No, Jalen Hurts.
C+ probably.
I like all your grades. I'm with you.
Yeah, I think C+ for Hurts. I mean, I give Hurts some credit because I think the passing game was a little bit better. I thought, at times he picked and chose his spots well in the year. First 4 games, I mean, I made the argument we were 4-0 to start the year because of him. I mean, it wasn't because of anybody else. I mean, that first Dallas game, if he didn't run in that game like he did, they weren't winning. So I thought Hurts was good in spots. Where I knock Hurts is, again, I have expectations of when you're the Super Bowl, when you're the franchise quarterback, when you're that guy, I need you to be that guy. And I need you to elevate everybody around you to the point where there is no C's around the boards for your playmakers. That doesn't exist because you're elevating. and I don't think Jalen elevated enough those around him this year. But individually, I think a C+ is about what he was.
Would this be fair? In the first 8 games of the season, you could probably give him a B+, and in the back end of the season, in the final 9 games, you could have probably given him a C-.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's fair.
Let's go over to the defense. Moro Ajomo. This is going to be fun.
Moro Ajomo, considering the expectations for him individually, I'd say like a B-.
I got
But
B.
because he's replacing Milton, I think that's going to be slanted a little bit by people because they know the shoes he was filling, and it's always hard to fill those shoes.
Yeah.
I think people will fall more in the C, but I'm going B- here. I thought he could have been a little better. I thought he slowed down late in the year too.
Especially last 4 games, I thought he did.
No show.
Jordan Davis.
I'd lean B+, but I think about the end of the year, and I think he's another guy that kind of had his biggest impact early in the year. So I'd probably fall B for Jordan Davis.
I'm with you.
But a good B. I think like an A.
No, I like you. If you wanted to give him a B+ this season for his play, overall play, I would not have a problem with that. As a matter of fact, I probably would land there. Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter falls in an extreme version of Devontae Smith explanation. C. And that, you know what, dude, that might be generous.
I'm giving him a C-.
Yeah, I'm good with that grade. No contest. In fact, you'd probably pull me that way.
Jalen Phillips, since he came, what week did he get here? Week 14? Was that right?
No, he got here earlier than that.
Week 8?
Yeah. Well, no, like 10 or 11.
Okay, 10 or 11. Okay.
Yeah.
Jalen Phillips, his impact on that defense?
I mean, it was a pretty big impact. The defense got a lot better when he got here. I mean, you could mark down, where it got better.
Dude, do you not think that when he got here, Adoree Jackson's play got better?
It did. The whole defense played better in the second half. So I got to give him some credit for that. But, a little underwhelming in the statistic department, which I know isn't the most important thing, but it is a thing. I don't agree with John completely where sacks don't mean a thing. I think they do matter. I think they do change games. I think they do, add up. Whenever Jalen takes a sack, how many times are we like, shit, that just set our offense back? I mean, those are big plays. So I'd like to see a little bit more sacks. I'd like to see a little bit more changing of the tangibly changing the game, not just theoretical. The pressures add up and they make it to, I know that. I'm talking about tangibly changing the game. I'd like to see a little more from him there. I'd probably give him a B.
Yeah. Now, see, when you're going to give a B, now listen, I said this to the Tampa folks this morning. There's no way Jason Light's going to come out of his mind and he's going to give a first rounder up for Max Crosby. $35 million. He's a 29-year-old edge rusher. I mean, if I were the Eagles, man, I'd move off of Phillips and I'd give him and punt Carter down the road, and I would sign Max Crosby.
Dude, I don't know about that.
But I'm not giving you a 1 for him.
I don't know about Crosby.
Bro, he's an impact player.
There's no doubt. He's not the same player he once was.
No.
He hasn't played great either recently.
3 years ago, he was really
he was like one of the best edges in football. I mean, he was a top 3, top 5 guy. Now I don't know.
The price tag might be too high with the salary.
That's what I mean. I'm starting to feel about him like I feel about Trey Hendrickson. I'm not going to deny their talent, but I don't know if I want to make that move.
Zach Bond.
Zach Bond's an interesting one. I felt like in spots he could have been a lot better, and I can visibly remember a couple plays in the season where I was like, "Damn, man, Bond doesn't." I'm not used to seeing him getting beat like that. Like one that just immediately comes to mind right now. 49er game for sure, and then I think of that Giants game, that first Giants game I mean, I watched Jackson Dart put his foot in the ground and juke Bowen out of his socks. I mean, I remember that vividly. So I'd probably say B minus for Bowen.
Man, I love the player, but he just how many wow games did he have? Like 24. How many times did you, me, and John get in that post game and just go, fuck, wow? I mean, there was none of those wow games for me. So he was more like a B minus for me this year. I did see, and like you said, I saw spots where he got beat, and there were times he got ran over.
Yeah, it's true.
And I mean, he was really good, but wow. Here's a very interesting one, and boy, I will give you guys some really bad news here. This is bad news. I know for a fact the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to make a play for Nakobe Dean.
Good for Nakobe. I want Nakobe Dean to get paid.
Jason Light loves the guy.
I as much as I want Nakobe back, I do appreciate the people part of the business too. You know, I know a lot of Eagles fans are fans, but me working and doing what I do, I mean, I do appreciate good stories, and I like Nakobe Dean a lot. I would pay if it were my team. Nakobe Dean would be getting paid. I would tell the GM, I don't really give a shit what you want to say or who you want to sign. I want him in my building. That's the guy I want to build my team around or have in my locker room. I don't care what it costs, 8, 10, 12 million, but they're not going to do that, and that's not how the world works. So I understand it, but I'm happy for him. I hope Nakobe Dean gets as much money as humanly possible that could be paid to him. I really do.
Okay, this is how I know this. Mike Caldwell, the inside linebacker coach, and Larry Foote, the outside linebacker and run game coordinator. I got a text, and I know Mike Caldwell, his former linebacker, played in the NFL during my time. And he goes like this, boy, that Dean can play, huh? I go, he's a green dot guy.
Yes,
and every time he gets in there, man, he's a fucking missile.
Do you know what's crazy? He's a perfect fit there. Life after Levante David, life after some of the key linebackers they've had in that building.
Got Vita Vea in front of him.
Is Levante David coming back?
No way.
He's a free agent?
Yes, and the Bucs have already
his entire career, right?
I thought he was in Denver early in his career. Maybe I'm wrong, but he's a Hall of Fame player, dude.
Yeah, he's an amazing player.
But yeah, no, I think he's probably the second best linebacker in the history of the Buccaneers.
He's old. He's 36 now.
Yeah, he's struggling. He's struggling right now covering, but he's a freaking.
No, the Bucs drafted him, dude.
Okay,
now, I don't know let me see if he played every year there, but they did draft him.
Okay. Yeah, he's second to Brooks. He'll be a Ring of Honor guy. He'll be a Buccaneer Ring of Honor guy for sure.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but I know this, that Larry Foote and Mike Caldwell love Nakobe Dean. And they asked me about him. I said, look, I thought the kid sucked. I go, Vic got his ass, turned him into a player. I'm going to give Nakobe Dean, when I saw him play, I think Nakobe's a B+ player, man.
I think if he stays healthy, I think he's a stud. I think he's a great linebacker.
I'm wrong about him.
Well, you're not wrong about him because your biggest knock on him was still the size and the health.
Yeah.
And you could make an argument that the size is maybe one of the reasons the health concerns have continued, you know. So I don't know that you've been wrong on him, but he is a talented football player. And that's been proven to be true. I mean, he's very talented. And he's a grade A guy. I mean, I listen to he's one of my favorite guys to listen to when when the beat guys interview somebody right in front of them in the locker room. I don't love all those interviews. I think a lot of them are pretty bad. And quite frankly, you know, don't tell McMullen, but I think some of the questions that those guys ask are just stupid. They're just not good. I mean, I want good questions. I want to learn things about the team, about the players, about what's happening in the games. I want to and some of these guys will talk more. And Nakobe's one of those guys who will talk more. He's a grade A dude, man. I'm telling you, that's a backbone guy. That's a foundational guy.
If I'm the Eagles, I don't let him go the Milton Williams way, where I don't contact him at all. Like how can we make it work? Let's try to make it work. I would put an effort into making that work. And if I were Nakobe and his agent, I would want to make it work because Philly wants me.
Yeah, but
You know,
Philly's not going to pay you what you're.
I know that, but guess what? Would you rather play 7 years in Philly, 8 years in Philly, or go someplace for 2 years, get the money, and then blow you out because you were hurt and they gave up?
For Reed Blankenship, I'd make that argument. For Nakobe Dean, I think he's going to be able to carve out a nice career for himself. I really do.
Jahad Campbell.
Jahad Campbell was, actually pretty good in the games he played. They put him on the bench because Nakobe got healthy, and
I thought they mishandled him.
I thought a little bit. I agree with you. I thought there was a way to get him on the field while also keeping, Nakobe out there, but that's not on the player. That's on the coaches, and that's so can't knock him for that. But when he was out there, I thought he was good, man. I thought he was you could almost make an argument it would be an A if he played the whole season at the pace he played it at. But he didn't play the whole season, so I'll give him a B.
I'm gonna give you 2 grades. As a player in the unit, I thought he was a B. As a rookie, I thought he was an A. Like as a rookie dude,
I like that. I would subscribe to that. Player in the unit B, as a rookie A. Yeah, I think that's fair.
I saw him covering tight ends and running backs going down the sideline.
It's just hard to give an A when you play in 9 games or whatever it was. Like you're not winning defensive rookie of the year with 9 games played. You know what I mean?
One of the things that was impressive about him, did he play for Saban?
Yeah, he was one of the last Saban guys. Yeah.
Okay, well, let me tell you something, bro. You can see how well he was coached.
Yeah.
And you could see how well he was schooled and ready to play. Jalen Hunt.
Jalen Hunt, I thought, was a pleasant surprise. I mean, I think we all thought he was going to have a better year, but I thought he really showed, all right, I can be an NFL edge. You don't have to worry about that part. I need to be productive continuously, but you don't have to worry about me becoming it. I can be an edge. And I thought that was a very positive sign for him. I'd give him a B or a B plus this year.
Yeah.
A B plus. I think we're giving a lot of people a B. I'd give him a B plus.
I thought he was just everything I thought he wouldn't be. I mean, he was a pleasant surprise, a guy from nowhere, and he just shows up, and he got better and better and better. I thought the last 2 games he kind of dropped off a tad. I didn't see the pressure, especially in that Niner game, but they were getting the ball out quick, too, in that ball game, if you remember right. I just didn't think he showed up in the final 2, but, man, for me, I'd give him a B, too, man. I thought he was just –
yeah, remember, the final 2 were tough. I mean, he had Trent Williams in that game. Now, again, you want to have him have a good game. I'm not saying that, but
hey, man, great call.
It's tough to go like that.
Yeah, that's like going against Lane. Nolan Smith.
Nolan Smith, I'm super underwhelmed. I'm sorry, I just am. I mean, I think he shows flashes.
He gave you hope, didn't he, a year ago, and then it just didn't continue over. Like Jordan Davis continued from a year ago.
Yeah, right.
Continue. Nolan didn't, right?
It's not that I think I'll start with where I've been happy with Nolan. I think Nolan plays the position fundamentally sound. I think he sets the edge well. I think he does things well at that position that I didn't really think he would do well. And then ironically, the stuff that I thought he'd be good at, I think he's been super underwhelming at. I thought he'd be a great speed rusher because his size. He doesn't really show that type of threat on the end really at all, or didn't much this year, it felt like. Good at setting the edge, good in the run game here and there, good at some of the fundamental things, which is a good thing. But the threat of him off the edge is just, it's bigger with Jalen Hunt. It is.
Yeah. Yes.
So I haven't seen that part of Nolan. I'd probably give him a C. Maybe even a little lower. Maybe even like a C minus. No, let's see. I'm good with the C.
I you know what? I think the play of Hunt and Campbell and some of the younger guys, and I know they're different positions, but he just was underwhelming. And I don't know, that 30th pick or whatever he was, the 31st pick, man, that just does not match up to the guy. I mean, that guy's not a first rounder. I think he's a good player, but
me too. I'm like between a rock and a hard place.
I'm with you. I'm in and out on him right now. Yeah. Adoree Jackson.
Adoree', I mean, considering he was a Temu signing for a few $1,000,000 and you put him in as a starting cornerback, I thought he started off as a D, and I thought he ended up as a C plus B minus.
Yeah.
So I'm giving him a C for the year. I actually wouldn't think it'd be crazy if you gave him a C plus. I mean, he wasn't as big of a problem for the team in the second half of the year as we thought. Like early in the year, we were like, we're not winning a playoff game because they're just going to pick on Adoree' Jackson all game.
Yeah.
And that's not how it played out at all. I thought Adoree' held his own. I'd maybe bump him to a C plus, but C.
Let me tell you, man, I thought he was the biggest liability on your defense. And he was just getting turned around. He was just not a tackler. I'm like, this is fucking terrible. All of a sudden, man, got better. This is Vic, too. Got better. I thought he was pretty decent, actually, in that Niner game.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you, I'm all right with a C plus with that guy. And I'd bring him back. I'd bring him back to my defense. I'm not saying that that's the future.
I don't know if they will bring him back. I don't know about that.
Can't be that expensive.
I don't think it'll be expensive at all. I think it depends. Like if they draft a corner, obviously not. But if they're not able to like sign a corner in free agency and draft one with a premium spot, I could see him coming back. I could.
I'll tell you what, that's one of Howie's best signs. Would you agree?
It was one of his better Temu signings for sure. He played every game or most games, and he was a viable starter
at a premium position too, corner.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. He was one of the better signings. Good point.
Yeah. Reed Blankenship.
Yeah, I mean, just to be clear though, on your point, they paid Azeez Ojulari more than they paid Adoree' Jackson, who had a bigger impact on the team.
Adoree' by far.
Obviously, Adoree' by far. Reed Blankenship.
There's a tough one here because this is going to be impact in your offseason here too.
Why do I feel like every player I just want to give a C to? Like I hate C. It's like right in the middle, you know?
It's average.
But he was a C, dude. He wasn't awful. Wasn't a game changer.
Are you giving $10 million to a C student?
Considering that $10 million is for C students in the NFL, maybe.
Well, if I'm giving somebody 10, I'm going to up that number to 12 to get Nakobe.
I already told you how I feel about Nakobe. I'm paying Nakobe. If I'm the owner, I'm calling the GM and saying, I don't really care what you want to do. Pay Nakobe Dean. Thank you very much. And if you need to trade somebody to do it, then go for it. But Reed, yeah, I'm kind of with Abe.
What's that?
Can I do 9.2? Something about the 8-digit thing is no good. Something about the 8 digits rubs me the wrong way. If we could keep it 7 digits, I'll be happy with that.
Hey, am I wrong when I say this about Marcus Epps? Didn't he settle the kind of the safety position when he got put in there a little bit? I thought they played a little better at safety. Am I wrong when I say that when Vic put him in there? They played better, no?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it wasn't a complete liability. Guys, we're talking about the defense right now. The defense wasn't the liability.
The defense kept you in ball games.
I know. So it's hard for me to grade these guys too harshly, but I don't know. Are we too Scrooge with our grades for the defense? I mean, the defense was pretty good this year. I don't think we had 1A.
Bro, I don't. Oh yeah, you did. They're coming up here in a minute.
Okay,
your A's are coming up here in a minute. Here, the two of them that are left.
Cooper and Quinion.
Yeah. They're my boy's coming up here in a minute. Here, okay. I'm gonna give you what I think of.
Coop's an A, and Quinion's an A plus.
Bro, yeah. Well, I'm gonna go the opposite way.
No bullshit. Coop got beat a couple times. Quinion didn't get beat damn near at all.
I'll tell you. I saw the 49ers spin that bitch around a few times in that game.
Wait a second. Is this a regular season grade or a play?
Hey, all I'm saying to you is
right. I forgot. Quinion, dude, he didn't get beat until that playoff game. Literally.
That's
he did get beat on the first drive, though.
Cooper DeJean is an A plus for me. That fucker's great in space. He's a tackler. Dude.
I'm good with that. I mean, I'm giving him an A. I don't think he's A+ yet. I think he's got some room for improvement, but
Man, dude,
he got cooked by Pickens a couple times, didn't he?
he did. He did, but man, he's an impact guy. Dude, Q's an A+. Those are fucking two great
I don't know,
football
dog.
players.
You give up 70 yards in a drive in the playoffs.
I get it. I get it.
That's a weighted grade, my friend.
I saw Patrick Surtain get beat in a game by fucking Jared
True.
Stennell.
That's true. That's true.
Hey, dude, those two dudes, getting them guys in the same draft is unreal. I mean, they're the cornerstones. Jalen Carter, you may think is a cornerstone of your defense. Those two dudes are your cornerstone. Those guys.
They need defensive line guys to be their cornerstones.
Yeah, well, if Carter decides to show up this coming season, you're going to have him. Guys, we'll get to your supers here in a second. All right. So let me get down to something that I'd really love to go to now. So let's go to here. Vic Fangio. What'd you get? What did you give Vic?
Oh, wait. Prince is right. Guy gets beat one fucking game and then in the same game delivers 2 interceptions. My A+ will stand with Quinyon Mitchell.
I don't know.
Prince. Thank you, Prince. You know, Prince, we have a propensity to think about what happened to bad, right, Prince? Guy delivered 2 second-half interceptions, Prince. And your boy Jalen Hurts and the offense couldn't quite capitalize on it. The A+ stands for Quinyon.
All right. How about this one? Vic Fangio.
Vic Fangio, A.
A.
I mean, he took Temu signings. Now, granted, he's got a lot of first-round picks he's working with over there. But
good call. 1, 2, 3. Jalen Phillips is a first rounder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5
6.
first-round picks.
He's got 6 first-round picks over there.
Who's he got? Jordan, Jalen, Quinyon Mitchell,
Jahad Campbell,
Jalen Phillips,
and Q.
And Q. I mentioned Q.
Wait, Davis, Carter,
Phillips,
Smith,
Nolan Smith. We missed him.
okay.
Quinyon 5,
right?
And who else?
Jahad Campbell
6. 6 first rounders, and then some premium picks as well. Nakobe was a 3rd rounder.
Yep.
Cooper DeJean 2nd rounder. Andrew Makuba 2nd rounder. There's some good premium picks in there as well. So.
I never thought about that, but let's see on offense how many first rounders. Barkley.
Well, no, the offense is paid.
Barkley.
That's the difference.
The
offense got paid. The defense isn't paid, but they're all first rounders.
Barkley is a 1. Smith is a 1.
AJ was a 2, I think.
He was.
Jalen was a 2.
Lane was a 1. There's only 3.
Lane was a 1, but Lane was a decade ago.
There's 3. There's 3 first rounders on that offense. Huh?
Jahan Dotson was a 1.
Oh, that's right. Jahan Dotson. That's right. Washington. He was a 1. That's right. All right. What about Nick Sirianni's grade for 2000? I can't wait to hear what you think of your favorite coach. What do you think he did?
Coach, you don't need to put that on me. I think we have bad logic when we talk about him. I mean, I don't know how people can shit on him for the collapses, which he should be shit on for, but then also not give him any credit for the successes. That to me doesn't make sense. If you want to knock him for the bad, I'm good with that. But you got to give him some credit for the good. I think that's more fair. And if you don't want to give him credit or blame for either, then that's fine too, because at least you're consistent. I think C+. Unfortunately, he didn't have the answers this year, and it's the second time that's happened in 3 years. So
would you not agree if this fails this year, all the shit that we're talking about here about him not having answers comes to head?
Well, it's going to come to a head if it happens, and Nick will be fired if it does. If it doesn't work out. So,
and by the way, to his credit, on the other side, if the fucker does this guy may go down like in the Jim Harbaugh, John Harbaugh.
Yeah, right.
Mike
You better
Tomlin.
get ready. You better get ready. That'll be the biggest plate of career you ever
have
ate.
to get ready for this. I know where this is going already. This guy's going to be working at a fucking donut shop.
Give that MF or an E, Sills.
Hey, get this. Nick Sirianni's going to be working at a donut shop. Bro, I know where this is going. Ready? Hurts is going to be in the UFL, and Nick's going to be at a donut shop.
Dude. Nick, I'll buy a donut in any time for you in Philly if you're in Philly. You shouldn't have to buy a drink in Philly.
Who, Jalen?
Both, Jalen and Nick.
Yeah,
and people,
they succeeded.
It's bullshit. It's bullshit. People like your very show on my network say this bullshit.
I'm not the only one.
Bullshit. If you're listening to this right now and you think and you honestly believe that the head coach is a pile of sticks and is a stiff, and he's got one of the best records in football in the last 5 years with 2 Super Bowl appearances, I think you're not you, Sileo. You are in the crosshairs of this, but I'm not speaking to you. I think you're a moron. Okay, flat out.
I've given you multiple coaches who have had better success than Nick Sirianni that were fired because they were exposed once reality hit. There's a guy, like I say, George Seifert won 2 Super Bowls, was in 5 conference championship games. He won 108 games and lost 35 games, and they blew him out. I mean, no one ever looks at that guy and goes, wow, he was Bill Walsh. I look at Nick over on the sidelines, 4th and 11, baby. 4th and 11.
He'll be making Cinnabons in Idaho. Cinnabons? How the fuck do we get there?
You think this is going to work, right?
I didn't say that.
Okay. I heard John say John doesn't think it's going to work.
No, he doesn't think it's going to work.
Oh, the end.
I think it's
the end is near, dude.
All these small brains in here.
Hey,
you included.
The end is near.
The full blame of 23 falls on Nick Sirianni.
No.
Super Bowls in 22 and 24 have nothing to do with them. Yeah. Right, guys. Right. Again, 2 + 2 = 5 in the National Football Show.
Whoa. Wait a minute here. What did he do significantly in 24 that makes you think that he was instrumental in the success of the Eagles Super Bowl? Just what do you think he was successful at that year?
I think you're trying to pin it because it's easier for you to win your arguments that way.
No.
But I have the belief that
I'm asking you a broad question. What do you think he did?
I believe the head coach has inherent responsibility for good and bad on a football team. This year was bad. Nick deserves a lot of blame for what happened this year. But I'm not going to look at 24 and say, oh, thank you, Kellen Moore, or thank you, Shane Steichen in 22. Bullshit. Bull fucking shit.
So what happened in 25 that was different in 24?
Wait. That's right. Didn't he abandon the Kellen Moore love fest?
Yeah, he had to.
Let's go back to the Nick offense.
Because he had to, because the quarterback can't fucking throw with high volume.
So then
he went to Howie and said, thank you for Saquon Barkley.
Oh, bullshit. You just bent that so much. They tried to play Kellen Moore's system after they signed Saquon.
I thought the players went to the coaches after that and said, we need to run the ball.
Oh, my gosh. I can't believe how many simpletons we have in this.
Well, then wait a second.
I used to think that JAKIB was a smart
well, if I'm a simple-minded, and help me out here. If I'm
not calling you directly. You just happen to be in the crosshairs.
Hey, listen. Well, then why has the coach been almost fired 2 times in 3 years?
Because you and the owner are a lot alike, emotionally and reactive. Emotional and reactive.
What do I need, Midol?
Yeah. What's that stupid pill the pill that all the ladies take for their period? Is that Midol?
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing. I thought it started with a P. What's the
No.
other one? Is
No,
it like-
not that. No. What Pepsodent? I don't know.
What's pampering? Is that it?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
could
that's it. Pampering.
Right.
Midol and pampering. All right.
Okay, me and
That's
Angela.
for you, Prince. That's for you, Christopher Michael. That's for you, Silo Blaze. Midol and pampering.
Rhea Hughes called. She texted me. She goes, "We're talking about an extension for Hurts. What do you think?" I go, "Never in a million years. I would never re-sign that guy. Never."
Well,
Now I would do this. If that guy goes on to go for 4,500 yards and 30 touchdowns this year,
he's getting a bag of money like you never seen before.
and you go 8-9 and take a step back, I'm still going to go what you said earlier. I subscribe to that. Hey, the offense is going.
Josh Allen will be the little engine that could after Jalen Hurts' next deal if he throws 4,500 yards.
He does that. I'm going to go like this. Listen, if your offense, would you think this would be a success if your team takes a step back in the one-loss column, but your offense takes an enormous step forward? Do you think that helps you over the next 3 years?
Potentially.
I
don't know.
I would think so.
If your defense doesn't hold
With that schedule. Dude, you're playing a Herculean schedule this year.
Herculean.
Okay. Hey.
You just had Jason Cole on in hour number 2. What does he say about schedules, strength of schedules? He says they're all bullshit. Teams change drastically. Don't look at strength of schedule and fall for it. Yeah, here's Sileo falling for it.
I'm talking about teams that consistently win, that are good organizations. Those are what I
man. Oh, man.
Dude, watch this. I guarantee you the Patriots take a step back.
You're driving me to drink today. You know that? I don't drink either.
Now you drink that like crazy vitamin water and bullshit.
No, I don't. I drink some freaking drink. Okay, God forbid a man like a drink doesn't have 50 grams of sugar in it.
Okay, Jacksonville, 14 wins.
Give me Trayvon Walker and shut up, Jacksonville. Come on, Jacksonville. Give me Trayvon Walker. Let Jalen Phillips out of here. Pay Trayvon Walker $28 million across four-year deal. Come on. Let's set this edge up with a real edge, not Jalen Phillips.
Let's see how many 10-plus win teams you're playing. You got Jacksonville. Okay. You've got the Rams. Seattle. Houston. 49ers. Let's see. Chicago.
I'm about to throw a virtual punch.
Chicago.
You got big hands going to come out of your computer screen, just bopping.
Let's see. You're playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams that had 10-plus wins. And how many playoff teams are you playing? You're playing 1, Jacksonville. You're playing the Rams, Seattle, Houston. That Colts team was good too last year, but weren't a playoff team. You play the Niners, the Bears, Pittsburgh, and Carolina. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're playing 10 playoff teams out of 17 ball games next year. And you're changing your offense to a
How many are going to be playoff teams? How many are going to be playoff teams next year, Sileo?
Well, okay. Let's see here. That's a great question. Let's see about the coachings here. I like Dave Canales. I think Dave Canales is a hell of a coach.
Wait, ready, guys? Now he'll glaze every coach on this list except for Nick Sirianni, who's won more and accomplished more than all of them. Let's go. Okay, Dave Canales is your new boyfriend. All right.
All right. Mike McCarthy, who's actually a play-calling head football coach.
Yeah, okay, let's hear it. Let's hear Mike McCarthy. All right, let's now 2 down. Let's see it.
You think Nick Sirianni's a better coach than Ben Johnson?
Hard to give Ben that credit yet. Only 1 year.
All right.
He's big. Ben's definitely the better offensive guy for sure. No doubt about that. But
Okay, do you think Nick's better than Kyle Shanahan?
no, I don't. Kyle's my favorite coach in football. But I think Kyle does struggle with some of the game stuff. I do.
I agree.
By the way, Kyle Shanahan was freaking awesome on the broadcast this weekend for the Super Bowl.
He was.
He was phenomenal.
Good pull by you on that one.
Excellent.
This will be tough for you. You think Nick's a better coach than D'Amico Ryans?
Yeah, I do. I think D'Amico's doing a really good job, though.
You think Nick's a better coach than Mike McDonald?
Right now, it's a push.
You think he's better than Sean McVay?
As a head coach and the other stuff outside of offensive play calling, I actually do. But I don't believe he's even close to his ballpark when it comes to offensive football.
You know what? I will say this. I love Sean McVay, but you and John have kind of worn it up a little bit on me that, man, some of those fucking in-game conservative play
He
calls.
struggles with it, dude. He struggles.
does.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, does he remind you of a young Andy Reid in Philly?
Yeah, that's actually an interesting I mean, he's obviously more accomplished than Andy was in Philly. You know, he's got a Super Bowl, but that's a good comp, actually.
I think he's a lot. Look, he's one. I get it. But I think some of those, like the Philly game he did that Philly game in the Bear game, and he did that again in the Seattle game. And
my boy Chuck Hutton, who I deem as a smart man. Chuck, you've been Sileo-ized, man. McVay's a great coach. Nick is not the stiff that you think he is. I promise you.
Oh, my God. He gets beat by a JV 49er team.
Wait a second. So you call the quarterback a stiff, right? And then you have a coach who comes in and wins 70% of his games with the guy that you call a stiff at quarterback, and the coach sucks too, right? Okay.
Stiff. Kurtz is not a stiff.
Sean McVay wouldn't win 6 ball games with Jalen Hurts because he can't do it. He can only coach his style.
I don't think Kyle Shanahan could win with Jalen.
No, he couldn't. He'd trade him too. Same way they both traded Trey Lance and they traded Jared Goff, who is marginally less than what Stafford is.
Hey, all those coaches would trade. Then why are you trying to change your offense to be like them?
Well, that's what John's point is. Why are you changing? You built the offense the right way.
Can I tell you?
It's because of you and the owner, you emotional turds. You got Nick trying to keep his job, man. He's got a wife and kids who live here. His kids are going to school. God forbid the guy tries to keep his job.
So, you hear what he just did? The guy signed a 3-year deal at $17 million a year, and these guys trying to make me fucking feel sorry for the guy.
You don't know what he's making.
You're right. He's probably making 9.
He might be.
Let's read some of these supers, dude. I mean, man, have you been eagle-eyed, man? I'm a little disappointed.
I'm not eagle-eyed at all. I think this team's got a lot to overcome. But I'm not going to sit here and act like we're the Raiders, like you are.
No. I do not think you're the Raiders.
Got him, bitch.
I do not think you're the fucking Raiders.
You think we're the Raiders with Antonio Pierce or whoever their latest stiff coach was before this guy?
He was.
Oh, Pete Carroll.
I actually like Antonio Pierce. He was a good coach, man. Not really. He's a good dude.
All right, you ready to go to some supers?
Yeah, let's do the supers.
Here's Pump.
Fix that fucking internet 2 of yours, will you please?
Is it really no good still?
Yeah, it's making me blind. Go ahead.
Sorry, guys. Sileo is crying. I got to fix it. Yeah, it's funny. I got the full thing hardwired. I got 5 devices here. All of them are 1,000 upload speed per second. It's perfect internet. Why is it not working on StreamYard? I'm going to start calling it Stream Shit. Pumper says, Nick Sirianni is the Jalen Hurts of head coaches, but the Jalenites call Nick ass. What's that implying? 16.
Look at that profile pic that Pump has.
I know. It's hilarious. It's really funny.
Ah, man. Is that fucking funny? Pump, you are a legend, man.
I'm not in Ocean Shitty. I'm in freaking, Jenkintown, man.
Yeah.
I'm in fucking Jenkintown, right north of the city.
Ocean Shitty.
I'm a Cape May guy, not an Ocean City guy.
Been there numerous times, man.
Here's Pump. Fellas, you can keep naming the linebackers, safeties, and corners, but my crosshairs are solely on that D-line. Defense was held back by lack of pressure.
At the end, it was. At the end, it hurt. The edges didn't get home, man. They got but to Xander's point, bro, you had fucking Trent Williams. That's the guy's the first ballot Hall of Famer guy, man. I know you can't use that as an excuse, but how many people get by Lane? Bro, Lane's retiring.
No, he's not.
All right.
No, he's not.
You'll be doing a
Angry
breaking
Buzz,
story.
love you, Big Z. Give it to Sills. All right. Pause, no Diddy, but love you too, bro.
Hey, Lane's retiring.
No, he's not.
Okay.
You want to wager it?
You'll be doing a breaking story, a breaking news story here in about when the days are what? Here it is right here. It's 12 days to the combines. It's 29 days of free agency and 72 days to draft. I say this, within the next 40 days,
I guarantee he doesn't.
You'll be doing a breaking story on Lane retiring.
Dude, the next 40 days, that's like the most fence riding I've ever seen, dude. 40 days? That's like the latest retirement in history. This is gonna be
no. What they're gonna do is he's gonna make the announcement before the draft.
I'll wager it. I don't care. I'll wear a Cowboy jersey for the Week 1 postgame show if Lane retires.
Oh man, I'm just telling you, bro. Why would he want to be coached by a nobody O lineman?
The greatness of Chris Cooper.
I heard you today. He was a pretty good player in New England. I'm like,
not New England, Denver, and he was a good player. He started 79 and 90 ball games. That's pretty fucking good, dude.
But totally as a player, wonderful.
Here's Piedras. Nick has taken this team to 2 Super Bowls, 1-1 with one of the best records of all time with a limited quarterback. Nick's a good coach. Piedras has a brain. Piedras has a brain. Piedras has a brain. Let's go, Piedras.
Hey, Piedras, I saw Brad Johnson win the Super Bowl Sunday. Brad Johnson, Sam Darnold, same dude.
Chris Cooper. Here's Abe. Lurie broke Nick. Great point. Remember when Nick showed off that turnover record but get beat by the crappy Niners? No future promises, only answers. It's the truth, Abe. That's the truth. Here's Daniel. What's that?
Yes, sir, Abe.
Here's Daniel Justin Thomas. Holy shit, this guy. If one first name is not enough, you get 3. With the scheme
like a serial killer.
What with the scheme change? What do you do if Tanner outplays Hurts in training camp? Well, they won't tell you that, but he probably might.
Hey, Daniel, doesn't matter if he outplays him. No trade, $50 million. Good night. It's just no.
Chuck rebounds with a good comment. Lane's actually going to develop the coach, not the other way around. Lane's going to coach Cooper, not Cooper coach Lane. All right, good stuff. A couple more. Daniel, thank you, brother. Daniel again, thank you, Daniel. Here's I think you got this one. Jalen is more effective when he runs for 8 throws for 200. Yeah,
but that's true.
All right, I can't believe you got this entire chat thinking that Nick Sirianni is actually a dumb coach. Piedras. Keep sharing the truth, my brother.
Big Z, keep giving it like you do on Birds 365. This is going to be one of
Give me a good topic for tomorrow. I'm in the mood to get under John's skin.
Let's see.
Let's get under John's skin.
Okay, hold on for a second.
I could say Nick Sirianni's a stiff. He'll lose his mind.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey. Stiffness, so I wouldn't be able to argue it honestly.
Let's see here. Okay, firing of Jeff Stoutland was the dumbest move that Nick Sirianni's ever made.
I kind of used a little bit of that, but yeah.
But you believe that.
I put him like a prince. Firing Stout.
Was Was that not the dumbest move he's made so far as head coach?
John might say, yeah, well, they're changing the offense like dummies.
Yeah.
Trying to turn Jalen Hurts into a quarterback that he's not.
Well, let me pay some bills before I get reamed out by you guys.
All right, goodbye.
Hey, dude, I'll see you in the morning, man. Keep it up, Xander. Keep up the great work.
Well, is my internet no good?
Yeah, it just keeps moving around. But it comes back. It's all right. It's something's in there, man. I don't know what it is.
I just reset the fucking thing.
Oh, yeah, we got to do that tomorrow, Xander. Season-ending awards, Player of the Year. We'll do that.
Hey, David, thanks for the chat and all, but like, if you want to program the show, anybody's free to make a YouTube channel.
Yeah, my cat. Big C will get you in the morning, dude.
Look at Frank. Internet is
awful.
Yo, Frank, fuck you, Frank. All right? Just kidding, Frank. Love you, buddy. Later, Sills.
Gotcha, bro. We'll catch you in the morning on Birds 365. Guys, do me a favor. Check out my great friends at Morgan & Morgan, the #1 injury law firm in all of America for a reason. It's family-owned, family-run. Guys, I tell you about the family in Florida who was initially offered $350K, ended up getting $12 million. This will be the easiest decision you make. Go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sales sent you.
There's a reason Detective Johnson is the gossip king.
Oh, did you hear? Jackie and Tom
are getting a divorce? Sad.
Well, I heard that Ashley
Had work done on her face? Yeah, oof.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big.
Bathroom? Okay.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Oh, okay.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica, who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand.
Thank you.
We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
So Brandon Graham wants to play one more year. He wants to come back and play. By the way, tomorrow, Battle Royale and Adam Kaplan That'll be at 5:30, and Battle Royale will be at 4:30. So we appreciate that. That was a lot of fun with Big Z. We will see you tomorrow going 2 to 6 and catch you on the flip side.